All right. I'm going to play a little song here.
Hey, guess I got, maybe it's these headphones because can't hardly hear shit on mine. How about you? Does mine sound pretty good to you?
Sounds fine. I can hear you as clear as day.
Mine, just hear myself. It doesn't, I mean,
Yeah, you hear yourself because you're talking to yourself, but no, I'm
to myself. I'm talking to myself. I'm my own radio. Nina Hagen.
Is the FX button on?
Huh?
FX, is that on off mute and turned up?
Oh, there?
Yeah.
FX. FX.
Yeah, okay.
FX. I'm gonna switch headphones. Like a real DJ.
Yeah, I don't think it's working. I have to go in there and look at it.
Hey, I'm a real DJ. I'm a real DJ. Check me out. I'm Jeff Sargent. I'm Roy Brewster. Punky Brewster's uncle.
The perverted one.
The perverted one.
The drunk uncle.
I'm the drunk uncle.
Yeah, see, I'm playing songs and I can't hear them, so I don't know what's going on over there. So let me go check it out.
I told a lot of people are going to be closed, like, New Year's and that. I think between Christmas, it's going to be hard to get guests between Christmas and New Year's. So I'm thinking we should just scratch that week.
Yeah.
And then build on getting people after the holidays.
Yeah, because I'm going to be pretty busy, so.
And Steve Joyner said something about that Michelle Arthur.
Yeah.
About her fabricating shit. Well, I've already booked her. I mean, I'm already come in. I want to come in. I want to fuck her, man.
Dude, we're streaming live on YouTube.
What?
I just started streaming us on YouTube.
Okay, scratch that.
Okay, I'll put it in rewind.
Put it in rewind, please. I gotta tell on YouTube who I want to fuck. Roger Capps, okay, the bass player from Missing Persons. Is that who she said? Letitia? Remember she was talking about the bass player?
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Sorry about that pause. That was X, the hungry wolf. That's what I am today. Eating tacos like crazy. As Jeff is trying to get situated.
So, I have a question.
Yes.
Are we live streaming on YouTube right now?
We are again.
Oh, good. Okay, not from like 5 minutes ago. That's our little secret.
Yeah, we'll keep that between me and you.
Yeah, we can't say certain words on the air. And I ain't talking no F-bombs.
Okay, before we get started with Jeff Sargent Show, I'll play one more song. Jeff, let me know if you know who this is.
Okay. Suicidal tendency. Why is it so weak? Why? Is somebody fucking with my board? I gotta crank shit way up, man, to hear it.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
I need time to figure these things
There you
out.
go.
There's always someone there.
That's
going,
almost all the
"Hey,
way.
Mike,
It shouldn't have. Usually halfway should be halfway.
You know, maybe get away.
Halfway should be halfway. On the Jeff Sargent Show.
I'll figure it out, you know? I'm just working on myself. They go, well, you know, if you want to talk about it, I'll be here, you know? And you'll probably feel a lot better if you talk about it. So why don't you talk about it?
I gotta cue up my intro.
I'm okay.
I saw these guys back in 1984.
What'd you say, 84?
Yes. Perkins Palace.
Oh, yes. Ran by the lovely Gina Zamparelli. Gina did all the booking. She ran Perkins Palace.
I was in my room, and I was just like staring at the wall, thinking about everything. Sitting down, I was thinking about nothing. And then my mom came in, and I didn't even know she was there. She called my name, and I didn't hear her. Then she started screaming, Mike, Mike! And I go, what? What's the matter? She goes, what's the matter with you? I go, there's nothing wrong, Mom. She goes, don't tell me that. You're on drugs. I go, no, Mom, I'm not on drugs. I'm okay. I'm just thinking, you know? Why don't you give me a Pepsi? She goes, no, you're on drugs. I go, Mom, I'm okay. I'm just thinking. She goes, no, you're not thinking, you're on drugs. Normal people don't act that way. I go, Mom, just give me a Pepsi, please. All I want is a Pepsi. And she wouldn't give it to me.
Why does he want a Pepsi? It's so full of sugar. Too much sugar, eh? You don't want to eat all that sugar, eh?
I was sitting in my room. My mom and my dad came in. They pulled up the chair and they sat down. They go, Mike.
I already moved out of the house when this came out.
Mike, the singer, was just a kid in this video.
He was, huh?
Yeah.
Like you. You were a kid.
Yeah.
If we put you somewhere where you can get the help that you need. And I go, wait, what are you talking about? We decided my best interest. How do you know what my best interest is? How can you say what my best interest is? What are you trying to say? I'm crazy? When I went to your school?
What do your churches?
I went to your institutional learning facilities. So how can you say I'm crazy? Say no to fix my brain.
Oh my God!
Oh, no.
Oh no! You're gonna be here, right? You're gonna sit. You're gonna be the co-host today because Patrick's not here. He had to do another audition. Yeah.
Yes, I wipe everything down when I come in.
Doesn't that make you feel good when Dan wipes things down?
I wipe them with my butt, but I wipe them down.
Yeah.
Play your intro. Let's go. Let's do this.
Okay. Not union. I shouldn't be touching this microphone. I'm not union.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a non-union project
Yeah, I'm
today.
not union either.
Here we go. Guess what? What time is it when you hear this tune?
Time for the Jeff Sargent Show.
Oh, with my co-host Janky. What? He ain't here. But guess what? Guess who's taking his place today? Our sponsor, Mark Hefferman from Pacific Wine Merchants and Cigar Exchange, the finest humidor in the county. Just minutes away from the Chaotic Radio Station, and it's right there at the Metrolink, downtown Upland Metrolink. That's all you got to know. You know how to get there. We don't need the street address.
Yeah, it's on the 8.
212. No, it's not. That's my own number.
No, that's your address.
It's his mic line.
Yes. Come in for the finest Padron cigars. Recluse. What other cigars are famous there, Mark?
We have the largest selection of Padrones and a huge selection of Arturo Fuente, including, of course, the Opus X.
And come for craft beers.
11 beautiful beers on tap and a wonderful cooler full. Don't forget, we have wine as well. And
Yes,
we're
the
not talking
finest
about the
wine.
employees.
Yes, if it's not drinking by the employees. Oh, wow. We'll get to that in a second. You guys had a party last night. That's Pacific Wine Merchants and Cigar Exchange in downtown Upland. Oh, we got live music there on the weekends, man.
Fridays and Saturdays, live music.
Live
6
music
to
on
9.
Friday and Saturday. Talking to that rubber
I'm gonna
band. I
talk
don't.
into that
The
one right
volume
there.
seems to be weak in here today.
All right, that's better.
And Dan the man, producer Dan, behind the glass in the control booth,
Locked up.
locked up.
That's so we can throw stuff at him, right?
Yes, we could throw baloney. Now that
Hell,
stick
we
to
have
the
cover
window.
up the whole window, so we don't have to look at him.
And so we have special surprise for you today. Not only Mark's coming here, we got 2 more people coming in from Pacific Wine Merchant and Cigar Exchange.
If they survived last night.
If they survived last night, okay. I know Greg will be the next one to walk in, and then last but not least, it will be Benny because he's going to drop those damn kids off.
The face of the event will be here eventually.
Yes, the face of the event.
So what went on last night, Mark? Did you guys have a Christmas party or
We
what?
did. We did a little potlucky kind of thing and had played some cornhole out on the patio and smoked some cigars.
Yep.
So it was a good time. I left early
What?
because I'm old.
How can you leave early, man? It's like, this is your thing, man. You're the host. You're the man. You're the party guy.
I know, but I was feeling no pain when I left, so it was time to go.
I think we should trade shirts because El Jefe, that's me. And when I'm a cholo, hey, I'm El Jefe.
That's right, D-Boss.
Hey, man, yeah, you the heavy, man.
I am the big cheese, the enchilada, all those wonderful things.
I should be wearing a PMW
Yes, you should be wearing that.
to represent every day, so the camera sees
You should.
our
We'll have
sponsor on my chat.
Well, the face of the event is procuring more shirts as we speak, so
You can
we will
come
take
in,
care of
yeah.
it. We will take care of that.
Yes, come in and get a cool Pacific Wine Merchants T-shirt.
As proud sponsor of the Jeff Sargent Show.
Yes. Oh gosh, I wasn't even gonna come in today, but then we've got Will. That's the character. We got Wesley Ure, who plays the role of Will in The Land of the Lost. How many of you kids out there grew up watching Land of the Lost? The Land of the Lost and Found, because I found him in Mexico. He's going to be calling in about maybe 5 minutes, about 7:15. Make sure we don't hang up on this guy. I was going to, if some other caller comes in, I was going to have a thing where the first, soon as you hear, if you call in after you hear the word Slee Stack, you could win a prize.
That's what I was wondering if that was the show with the Slee Stacks. Yes.
Yes.
And,
Slee Stack.
and Holly.
Holly, I'm going to get her. I'm
think
going to get her in here. I'm going to get her. I'm going to get here. I'm going to try to get her in the studio because it would be more fun. You
Yeah.
got to have the girls live in the studio.
Yeah, I think she took my virginity.
Oh
I
yes.
think I jacked
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Your hand took
Jacked
your
off.
virginity.
My hand did, but I was thinking of her.
Ah.
So I have
Cherry
to give her
Buster.
some credit.
You know, the reason I came in today, I wanted to tell you about the other sponsor.
You mean I could have slept in this morning?
No. Yeah, you could have. But I went to Jamal. Jamal wasn't there. I went to New York Bagels yesterday. And
Yeah, I saw the picture.
I saw the picture, and I picked out the blueberry bagel, the blueberry raisin bagel. Oh my God. and I had the 2-egg sausage and cheese breakfast sandwich.
With the blueberry bagel.
Blueberry with you gotta have the blueberry bagel with this sandwich.
Hands
It,
down,
it makes it. You got that sweetness and the raisin and the cinnamon and the blueberry with the berry. There was not raisins. It was blueberries. Yeah, and you get that flavor, and it just man.
Did it burst in your mouth?
Yes, and I ate it all gone. It didn't take long. That was to go. By the time I even started my car, it was gone before I left the parking lot. I should have just ate it at the counter in there. It's pretty cool, man. It's right there in the corner. And I brought in 2 pictures, 2 posters of the 3 amigos and the other one of just me. And so they can proudly display it in their windows. Yeah.
There you go. Proudly displayed.
Yeah.
Did you put me on there as a sponsor?
Oh.
You better go right on Crayon or something.
Man, we got, you know what, Greg, I'm going to bust his chops for that because, Greg, where's all the pictures? You put it on the back door, just one picture? Put one like in the window in the corner, man. Let people see that. How are they going to watch me do my live plug for our sponsor?
Exactly.
So whoever, Thomas was there? Was he wearing a kilt? Benny hates it when he wears a kilt.
Thomas was in dress, yes. I mean kilt.
Yeah, it's not a dress. It's not a skirt. It's a kilt.
I'm kilting it. It was kiltish.
Wow.
It was a good time. We had good food. Speaking of Greg Rose, he made some pulled buffalo chicken.
Pulled
we had
buffalo chicken.
We
Wow.
had some pulled pork and some pork and beans, and we had coleslaw and tater salad, and we had all sorts of stuff.
yeah.
So we had some rolls, and we had some avocado hummus with jalapenos.
What,
for
hummus.
those vegetable people, and then we had a big. Can't see this on the radio, but we had a really big bottle of wine.
Well, we're on YouTube, so you can see it.
We
on
did. We had a
YouTube.
really big bottle of wine.
Those things are very nostalgic, but it's the real thing, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And then we had to open another one because we drank the really big bottle.
wait,
of wine.
the giant one. Okay, how many? Everybody
It was a
there.
3-liter bottle, so that's 4 bottles.
Was Jennifer
of wine.
there?
Jennifer was there.
Everybody?
Kat was not.
Kat was not.
Kat was under the weather. So, and then
I was at the Lamley Theater by myself in Claremont watching Star Wars.
there was no one in the theater, or you were just
There was about 15 people, maybe.
wow.
In
So
there,
the
I
big
had it all to
weekend.
myself.
The
That's
big
because
weekend is
everybody
over.
was there at the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Sneak peek, you know, like Benny does.
So how was it?
I dug it, man. I want to be a Jedi. Or a henchman.
He wants to swing a big saber.
Oh man, yeah, they they even had some cool new animals on that little frosty planet with the red surface and the snow. Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty cool.
Don't buzz it for everybody else that hasn't seen it. Like
Yeah, I
yourself.
could say frosty surface planet with snow, with red crust underneath it. Yeah.
It was crusty.
Yeah.
It was very crusty.
So Wesley, where are you? He's going to be calling in.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Ring a ding a ding a ding.
Nope.
He's gonna like, oh, he's at the door. Not really.
So keep talking. Just drag this out a little bit longer. What can we
Drag
talk
this
about?
out.
We can
We,
talk
we
about how
do
much.
this every day.
We can talk about how much my son hated the movie Star Wars.
Oh, you're so. How dare he?
I know.
I've played that board game with him and with Larry, though, right?
Settlers. Yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
played Settlers and trading brick for wood, and God,
Yeah,
that
I
went on like Monopoly, man. I was ready to toss the whole board up.
You needed wood for your sheep.
Yeah, I needed wood for something, man.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh. I hear a phone.
Uh-oh.
Now I'll just sit here and look pretty now.
That's him.
And we're waiting for producer Dan to
Patch us through.
patch us through today. Do, 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 do. Line 1.
You got okay. Let me see. Oh my God, we got it. It's running. Wesley, patch me through.
He's patched.
Okay, I can't even hear you, Dan.
Yeah, we're
Cut off because I was taking a call.
Okay, I got nothing now. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Okay, I'm going to do this all on air.
Okay.
Chaotic Radio. Hello?
as we wait patiently. This is called dead air in the
Do-
world of radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, it's spinning. It's spinning, Dan. Come on.
We're spinning. I was spinning
It's there.
last night.
It's there. The call is there. You've got to figure it out on your side.
Well-
I mean, darn.
It's right.
Come on, Batman.
There's nothing I can do right here. I have to go in there.
Oh God.
Well,
How
come-
about you, Mark? Do you know your?
I don't know a board anymore. No, especially where the phone is.
The boards have changed so much.
Wesley, can you hear? Wesley, call my phone number. Call my cell phone.
Come in.
Well, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh yeah, this is a good call.
We got dial tone.
Yeah, turn that volume down.
It is. It is. Okay, come on. Now what?
Tell him to call back.
Just tell them to call back.
Call
Okay, call
Will.
back.
Call
I,
back.
I got it figured out. Just gotta, you know.
You just
call-
gotta push
call
the right
back
button.
and-
We just gotta push the right button.
Yeah, because I'm not an
Ride
engineer.
the white
I'm
horse.
not.
Look.
an
I'm going to
engineer.
give you his number, okay? You call him back. Do you see the number that he left?
I can't see from here. I'm old.
Okay, hold
You write it down and give it to me.
Okay.
Throw it on a paper airplane, but then it'll hit the window.
Yeah.
So that won't work.
Yeah. Call Pony Express and they'll deliver it to me.
Tell him to ride the white horse.
Okay, hold on. We'll call. Okay, now.
This
Here's
is
a pen.
chaotic radio.
Where's my pad and paper? God. I'm going to.
This is pure chaos, ladies and gentlemen.
they call it chaotic radio for a
And
reason.
they definitely do call
Okay.
it for a reason.
Okay. Oh, give me a pen that word. God, son of a
Can we
bitch.
just tell Dan what the number is? No, I guess we can't, because then everybody will call.
Yeah, then everybody will know.
Yeah, I don't want everybody to know the
No,
number of
no.
this guy.
Well, you just said it out loud, so
Okay, well, hold on. Keep talking, Mark.
I'm gonna tell everybody about. What am I going to tell everybody about? Pacific Wine Merchants and Cigar Exchange International at 210 A Street, downtown Upland. 909-946-6782, the largest walk-in humidor in the Inland Empire. That's right, we have cigars from all over the world, except for Cuba, of course, because that's illegal. And we have a wonderful, fantastic selection of wine. We have fantastic customer service. We have a beautiful location in the
And he has the right
1937
because-
historic train station.
Yeah, right by the train. Let me put my headphones back on.
All right,
We got a call from Wesley Ure, who plays Will on Land of the Lost from the 70s. Dan is calling him up right now.
And you remember which line it was on?
Yeah.
So we can, and your storage is full. So
Yeah, why does it?
I don't know. It shouldn't, because then we can't see our beautiful faces. And they are beautiful. They are faces for radio. So we're here at the Chaotic Studios. I believe it's Tuesday morning. It's 7:20 in the morning. It's
7:20.
a little chilly outside.
Dan is calling Wesley back.
It's going to be a
Sorry
beautiful
about this, Wesley. I know he's all the way in Mexico, you know.
Mexico. No more. How's that? Mexican radio. Come on.
I'm
cue that
on a
up. Where's our
Mexican
producer?
radio.
We need that song. Mexican radio. All right, I think we might have a caller. We do. Caller on line 1.
Caller on line 1. It's rolling. Do I have to press this check mark on there?
Yes.
Okay. I did. It shows it. It shows that it's on.
There you go.
There we go. Wesley.
Jeffrey, hey, how are
Oh
you?
my God, we finally got through. That's why they call it chaotic radio. You know, we're just a bunch of stooges in here trying to do a radio
Speak
show.
for yourself.
Well, I'm calling from Mexico, so we tried all different ways. There's certain days, certain numbers work. Certain days, certain numbers don't work. It's bizarre.
All the way from Mexico. Here we have from land of the lost and found, because I found you all the way in Mexico. Hey, I want to thank you for just coming through. Like, okay, hey, how about tomorrow? I'm going like, yes, I'm looking for people all week, you know, and like setting the, you know, I almost shut the show down because all this, you know, everybody's gone for Christmas, you know.
I know. Well, I am too. I'm in Mexico.
So are you there for fun? I mean, are you there?
Oh yeah. I've been here. I've actually been here a month, and I'm staying another 3 months.
Another 3 months? What? How could someone do vacation that long? 3 months?
Isn't it crazy? It's just ridiculous.
You're going to come back bilingual. You're going to speak all these languages, and you're going to have to become a citizen, aren't you?
Well, I love Mexico. We're down in Puerto Vallarta, and it's just beautiful, and the beach, and you know we have friends down here, but then I'm flying to Pensacola for Pensacon in February and back for an autograph show, and then we're going to Dallas in March for an autograph show, and they'll be back to Palm Springs where I live.
So the other kid's gonna follow you? I mean,
yes, for both Pensacon and for AllCon in Dallas, we're gonna Kathy who played Holly and Phil Paley who played Chaka are going to be joining us, and we're bringing our yellow raft. Remember the opening of Land of the Lost over the waterfall?
Yes,
Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition.
You know what? I was going to sing that, but you're singing it, and I'm going, he must be sick of this. You know, I'm so glad that you just have so much fun with this, and you know, it's like, I'm not sick of it. You just keep it going, man, because everybody loves it.
Listen, we have so much fun. Listen, it's odd because I have always said that not only did the Crofts, Sid and Marty Krofft cast me in a TV show, but they actually cast my family because Phil and Kathy have become like brothers and sisters.
Oh, I know.
And we are
it's like
so
the triplets, you know. It's just like
it is. It's totally true.
And that raft, you carry that same raft all across the country.
No, it's not the original, because the original would be like what 43 years old.
You'd have holes in it. Yeah, I don't think it could
exactly
support 3 grown-up kids.
Yeah, I found this. Yeah, I found this yellow raft on Amazon. I don't even think they make them anymore. And we've been patching it because with a lot of people getting in and out of that raft on the floor, it's taking a beating.
Oh,
but it's so much fun. The pictures come out great. And we just laugh.
Does it use a green screen, or you just put up that backdrop? Is that
you know what we do? We just put it on the floor. and we have the oars and a fan. Howard White, this fan of ours, just brought us yellow life vests that we now put on everybody.
Oh my God!
With the yellow oars. And a lot of people, they'll take the pictures. They actually come out better than you can imagine. And people are actually photoshopping them onto like waterfalls and different backgrounds.
That's a good idea, man. I mean, it's
crazy.
That's 1,000 feet below, to plunge. You better have a good life vest.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, this wonderful fan Howard came. Phil and I were in the Detroit area, and Howard brought all of these life jackets. He says these pictures aren't perfect until you have these life jackets, and sure enough, they've made the pictures so much better. So I love our fan. We have so much fun.
It was, it's like every time I see you guys, I mean, it turns into a big party,
Well, we have this philosophy. I tell you, if we're gonna haul that raft and haul ourselves to these shows, who wants to go to a show where you meet a performer? Because listen, I'm a fan too, so I get to meet all my fans. I mean, all of my my heroes too from television.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go to these things and spend money and do all that, especially a lot of money, you know, you don't just want to go up to somebody, give them money, and just sort of go like a silly little photo duck, like a, hey, you know, how are you? We like our fans, and we want to make it a party and fun and experience. So that's why we bring the raft, and you know, we just think if we're all gonna be there at once, let's have fun.
I like the fact that everybody, I mean, that the fans, they give you gifts too, right? I mean,
oh my gosh,
give you little statues and drawings and paintings and whatnot. And
I tell you, we've had the most amazing things. Recently, this fan made an Enoch, a full size Enoch head.
Oh, and wow, he's the leader. He's the leader.
He's the leader. He was in the orange one. He was and not only did he make the head, which is spectacular, but it has a voice box inside of it. If you push a button, he recorded the voice of Walker Edmondson, who actually played Enoch.
Wow.
And it's a speech, a soliloquy that Enoch did from Land of the Lost, and it is beautiful. It's just amazing.
Oh man, I haven't seen that. Was this recently? How long ago?
Very, very, very recently. But my favorite show, you know, Michael Westmore did, who did all the Star Trek and still does the costumes and I mean the props. Did Land of the Lost. Also, he was our makeup artist. He created the Sleestaks and Chaka, the Pakuni. And so I'm at the Star Trek convention in the Rio, because our writers were the Star Trek writers for Land of the Lost.
Oh, wow.
David,
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Well, David Gerald, who wrote Trouble with Tribbles, was our head writer.
Oh, wow.
And then Walter Koenig played Chekhov, created Enoch, the talking Sleestak.
Wow.
But we had D.C. Fontana and Larry Nivens and Norm Spenrad. So we're kind of the baby brother of Star Trek. So I'm sitting at my table. It's kind of slow, you know. I'm looking down, reading my phone or something like that. And I've got this white Sleestak skull that another fan made for us, which is just spectacular. It's from the Library of Skulls. And suddenly I see the skull is moving, and somebody's picking it up, which you never do, right?
Yeah.
So somebody's picking it up, and this old guy's going, "Excuse me, sir." And I look up, and it's Mike Westmore.
Whoa, wow.
and I was Mike Westmore, and he goes, "This is really good." He goes, "This skull is really good."
It's very accurate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's good to see Mike, and we hugged, and then Walter Koenig comes by our table, Chekhov, and he stops, and he goes, "I should have gotten royalties from Sid Marty Krofft for Enoch. I should have gotten royalties."
Yeah, because who expected it to live on? You know what? Some 30 years, 40 years later.
40.
It's been 40. Oh my God, we're showing our age.
1974, 5, and 6.
Oh my gosh. Well, me and Kathy are the same age, so I'm giving away my age right there. But we're still kids inside.
Aren't we all?
I mean,
tell you.
that's the thing. I mean, the live action shows from the 70s, we don't see that now. You know, we got this, you know, what do we got? Disney Channel. We got these kids with adults trying to write kid humor, and it's just horrible, man. Nothing
Well, you know, all the kids show. You know, I created a show on PBS called Dragon Tales.
That was
animated
you.
show.
All right. Did you do voiceovers on that as well?
No, I just created. There were 3 creators. I created the characters and storylines. So, and you know, that was for PBS. So I love children's programming, and one of the things about Land of the Lost is that, unlike today's shows, we didn't talk back to our parents. I mean, it wasn't. You know,
today's hell no! I'd get a whipping, man.
Yeah, today's kids, it's like kid shows. It's like you have the adults, and then the kids are the wisecrackers, and they put down the parents as the humor.
Yeah,
and which is okay. And I'm listening. A lot of it's funny, but after a while, it just gets a little tiring.
Yeah,
yeah. I was looking up. This is producer Dan. I was looking up Land of the Lost real quick on the internet, and I see a lot of episodes are available on YouTube.
You can watch it for free.
Do you see anything from that?
No, we don't see. Listen, The show was in 1974, 75, and 76, and it was before residuals for Saturday morning. So we don't get anything for Land of the Lost.
Oh, man.
That's why we come to conventions and beg and plead and cry. It's not pretty. I'm telling you, it is not pretty. You know, 3 adults crying and begging.
Yeah. Now, back then, I remember, let's see, 3 years. That's okay. Now, you changed. I noticed that there was another guy that replaced Marshall. That was supposed to be his brother or his uncle, or how did?
Yeah, it was his brother. It was our uncle. It was Ron Harper.
What's the story behind all that?
Well, Ron Harper, of course, he was the star of Planet of the Apes. So in the 3rd season, Ron came in. Spencer Milligan, who played Rick Marshall, our dad, he had a dispute with the Crofts about money, and he took off.
Oh,
which was very sad. And they hired Ron to come in as our uncle who was searching for us. So I sang the theme song, the original theme song to Land of the Lost.
That was
I had to go back.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
how
it was.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Just think if you got a nickel for every time we heard that song. You could buy an Aztec temple.
What I love is like Tenacious D, you know, Jack Black.
Oh
group.
yes.
They do the best. They do the best version of the opening and closing of the theme song of Land of the Lost, which I sang both of them. And it's so much fun to listen to. A lot of the rock bands will do the Land of the Lost theme song. You know, when I look all around, I can't believe the things I found. They really rock it out.
Oh, the Tenacious D one rocks. I mean, any song they do is just hilarious.
Oh,
man.
go to YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. Google Tenacious D Land of the Lost. It's really, really good.
Now,
but so Uncle Jack comes in the 3rd season. What was interesting was I was also shooting Days of Our Lives at the same time. I played Mike Horton for 9 years.
Oh yes.
So I was on Days of Our Lives. His wife, Sally, Ron's wife was on with me on Days of Our Lives. So suddenly Ron gets cast as my Uncle Jack in the 3rd season. So in the morning, I'm with his wife. You know, we're crying about girlfriends leaving us and, you know, problems and, you know, twins coming back to life, all that kind of soap opera stuff. And in the afternoon, I'm running from dinosaurs with her husband. So it was kind of fun.
Damn.
Now in Land of the Lost, how did they do the dinosaurs back then? Because it's so different from today's Jurassic Park and stuff like that.
They were puppets, right? Most of them were puppets in large.
No, they were. It was stop frame animation. They were clay models.
Whoa!
So it was very labor intensive. Land of the Lost broke a lot of barriers. It was the most expensive Saturday morning show. It turned out to be NBC's #1 show, including primetime, for a while. But it took them about 8 hours to do 60 seconds of dinosaur movement. So it was really labor intensive to make the dinosaurs move. We had a couple of puppets for a close-up shot, like Dopey, which is the dinosaur that Kathy rides or Holly rides. That was all claymation, and I mean, with their foam, kind of foam with apparatuses inside. But we did have a puppet, so when the puppet came up to talk to her, it was an actual puppet.
Yeah, that part.
Sid and Marty Krofft are known for their puppets. I mean, they started out, they're puppeteers.
Yeah,
so that's how they got their big break. In the World's Fair, I think in New York in 1964, that was their big break.
So were you using, back then, was it blue screen instead of green screen?
It was blue screen. And the first season, I had a blue shirt, and that chroma keyed out. And Kathy had some her cords were I think she had blue, and they chroma keyed out. So they kept changing the color. We finally ended up with a brown, so it wouldn't. Oh. But yeah, we had the largest. Land of the Lost was amazing. It was so much fun. We had two complete sound stages. Now, if you've ever been to a sound stage in Hollywood, it's like a little town. They're huge, huge. So we had two of them. One was a jungle, and with a lagoon, and the exterior of a cave. With the cave, we kept running up to the cave to get away from the dinosaurs. And the other soundstage was the interior of the cave, and half of the soundstage was floor, ceiling, walls were painted chroma key blue. It was the largest chroma key set ever made.
Wow, that's what made it look so large.
It and the animation was done on film, and we were videotaped, and it was the first time technologically it broke records because it was the first time they were able to meld videotape and film together instantly. So we got to see we would be on the set. There'd be a monitor, and we'd see the dinosaurs.
Wow.
Like we're at the Lost City, and we're having to run from a dinosaur, and they would tell us, they would shrink us down on the chroma key set so our bodies fit proportionate to the dinosaurs. And then they'd say, look at that light way up there. That's where the dinosaur's head is, and you're supposed to run the other way. And that's how we did it, to start running.
Oh, wow. So which stages were these? Which ones?
Well, this was the General Services, which was an old one. I think it's changed something right in Hollywood, like right off Highland or Santa Monica and Highland. It was Charlie Chaplin's old studio.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah.
And next to us was Happy Days was filming.
Oh, right there
So
at Paramount.
it was always very interesting.
Yeah.
And then we went to Goldwyn Studios, and that was the year that Sigmund the Sea Monster, which was another Sid Marty Krofft.
Right.
They had all we both used each other's caves because Sigmund had caves and Land of Lost had caves.
Wow.
Well, the first day of shooting for the new season for Sigmund, a fire started.
Oh,
and
no.
burned down the studio. Wow. Burned down the whole soundstage.
No, oh my God. Did they have to tear it down or was just the interior damage?
No, the whole soundstage went.
Oh my God.
And so if you notice in the third season of Land of the Lost, we don't live in the cave anymore. We live in the Lost City, and that's the reason.
Ah, okay.
Now, how do you know Jeff?
Jeff.
How does he know me?
Yeah.
Well, this is our sponsor, Mark Hefferman here, who sponsored the show, and he ambushed the show today.
Yeah, I'm playing co-host.
He's playing co-host because Patrick, you know Patrick, 6'9" Patrick.
Yes.
Pat Jankowitz. He had an audition today, so he couldn't make it. So,
and I have a face for radio. So.
And he's got a face for radio.
well, I hope he gets the job.
Wesley and I know each other from we know each other from the conventions. I knew Kathy. I met Kathy. I knew Kathy, and then I met everybody through Robbie Rist, through Cousin Oliver, and so I'd hang out with him, and then I go to cons, and it goes like fire. I make friends with everybody.
You're very friendly. It was nice. Hey, I like the shot you put. I like the shot you posted too. For promoting the show today. It was great.
Yes, that was. I'm good at making my little Facebook flyers.
Those were very, very good.
Now I'll be honest. I had a crush on Holly or Kathy. Back in
you
the
and
70s.
You and a million other kids.
Yeah, and I mean, I think she was the first person that I
fell in love
myself to. And I'm looking at her now, and she still looks gorgeous. You know.
Yeah, Did you
guys ever do anything?
Because I was like in 7th grade, and we were the same age, like everybody, like I even had the red corduroy pants she had. I found a pair of those when I was in 7th grade, and I wore them till they were high waters, till I grew a few inches. Then I was in 9th grade, and there's a picture of me and my sister and my mom at Paramount Studios in front of that backdrop where the lagoon is. It was like a little island thing. They'd fill the moat up with water.
Right.
Yeah, my mother was an artist, and she did a painting, a racehorse painting for a producer named Howard Koch, and
sure.
And he was working on this one, the big bus, but that was my maroon red corduroy pants, my Land of the Lost pants. But I think I've always had a thing. Girls look cute when they got the braids on both sides. It's just a real attractive thing. That
I agree. And Kathy, Kathy's, to this day, she's one of my best friends. In fact, I talked to her yesterday.
Wow.
And and she has her new book out, which is called Run Holly Run.
All right.
And She stole my line. That was my line. Every time I do something, it would be, run, Holly, run. There's a dinosaur. There's a flea sack. There's a pakuni. Run.
And that, that's what even Forrest Gump, they ripped that off, too. Run, Forrest, run. Run, Holly, run was way before.
But you can buy her book on Amazon.com, and it's got rave reviews. It's terrific. And talk about a life that girl has led. Oh my gosh, and what she's come through. It's amazing.
I remember her at that time after Land of the Lost, after that show was off, she did a Triscuit commercial. Remember that Triscuit, the cracker commercial? Did you ever see that one?
Well, there was a commercial. Well, she did a Cheez-Its commercial.
Oh, Cheez-Its.
I know that.
Was it Cheez-Its? I thought it was Triscuit. No, it was Cheez-Its. That's what it was. Cheez-Its.
But
My mistake.
It was before Land of the Lost.
Oh, that was before?
But really, the story about this, which is amazing, is she played, obviously, the little girl. They were in a car. Remember the car?
They were in a car. Yeah, it was a convertible, right?
It was a thing, a Volkswagen thing.
Oh, it was a Volkswagen. Yeah.
And guess who played her brother in that commercial? Phil Paley, who played Chaka.
Oh, no way. He's the youngest of the crowd. YouTube. Yeah.
So go to YouTube. You can watch it. It's I like Cheez-Its. You like Cheez-Its. We like Cheez-Its. More Cheez-Its, please, was the commercial. and you get to see Kathy and Phil, who were working together right before Land of the Lost.
Man, so is that how was there a connection there on casting through that, or no?
No, Phil was the youngest black belt in karate in the United States.
I remember, because we were all into our Bruce Lee and our Billy Jack thing back when we were kids. And me and my friends would get Fighting Stars magazine. And there was an article we read about him. My mom was looking at the grocery store. So, hey, here's your friends from Land of the Lost, that show you like to watch. And I'm going, oh, wow. And there he is with his black belt and his gi on. And I read I bought the magazine. And I'm going, yeah, man, this is cool.
Well, Chuck Norris was his teacher.
Oh, man.
And the way he got Land of the Lost is Chuck Norris took him on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And Phil, of course, was like about 3 feet tall at the time.
Yeah.
And you can YouTube this. You can go YouTube it. And Phil takes down Johnny Carson and flips him onto the floor. It is the funniest. It's one of the funniest clips of the Tonight Show. And the Crofts saw that, and they needed somebody that could be physical and do all the monkey stuff and imitate monkeys and running around. And that's how Phil got the job.
Crazy.
It's amazing how some of these stories happen,
Exactly.
Now, what happened what happened when in 2009 when the Will Ferrell movie came out?
Oh, it sucked.
That
even Sid Marty Krofft actually at Comic-Con in San Diego apologized.
And I'm going like, yeah, that movie was horrible. Like you're ruining it. You're ruining my childhood.
Kathy and I did a cameo with Will and Anna Friel. It was just the stupidest, worst piece of writing, and it got cut out of the movie because they cut the entire end of the movie and added a scene with Matt Lauer instead, which is actually funny. I mean, it's actually funny. But and I love Will, and Will was a huge fan of the show. He was amazing. He actually played years ago. One of his characters in a movie was Marshall Willenholly. Was the name of his character.
Oh, wow.
So he was he was terrific, and he was gracious and kind and wonderful. In fact, when I went on the set with Marty Krofft, and Will came running over to me. They were at Universal Studios, and he had just finished shooting he sang the theme song in the movie, and I sang it in the TV show. So he came over running to me and go, Wesley, I just sang the theme song. And it was like a little kid. It was really nice and flattering.
Now, where did you record the soundtrack for the song, the theme song?
At Michael Lloyd's studio. Michael Lloyd and I and two other guys were recording for Motown at the time.
Oh, Michael Lloyd. Now, he was also Leif Garrett's manager and sang when Leif Garrett used to perform and do his lip sync, which he did very well. That was Michael Lloyd's voice on his record. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. Yes, I found this out.
So we recorded at Michael's, and then when the third season, when Uncle Jack came in, I had to go back in to Michael's studio and re-record new lyrics to Land of the Lost. So it was like Will and Harley Marshall, as the earth beneath him tremble, lost their father through the doorway of time.
Right. Because there was no Marshall, you had to change that.
Found the kids at last, looking for a way to escape from the land of the lost. So we had to go back in and change those lyrics.
Yeah. See, it slipped right by us, and we just kept hearing the same theme song. But legally, yeah, because Marshall's not there. So.
Yeah, because Marshall, Will, and Holly on the Rougeing expedition met the greatest earthquake ever known.
Yeah.
High on the rapids, struck their tiny raft and plunging down 1,000 feet below.
I just liked how it was tiny. It would look like a little tiny raft on a popsicle stick going,
Well, we were on a big yellow raft with springs, and it was all chroma keyed, and there were 4 guys rocking us, with wooden sticks,
And the waterfall seemed like the kitchen faucet, roll over.
No, it looked like the tidy bowl.
Yeah,
it was that blue water.
Oh gosh,
it just looked so artificial,
swirling around.
Yeah, everybody.
But
you remember that? Yeah, everybody. All 3 of us. You remember that, Dan? Don't you? The tidy bowl man.
Oh yeah. He swam around your toilet.
Yeah, after that, I always took the lid off to see if he was in there.
If you watch the show now, I mean, the effects, of course, are so dated. I mean, what they could do with computers now, in an afternoon, they could do all the animation for the series, with just a flip of a switch. But the reason the show still holds up is the writing, especially the first couple of years, was the Star Trek writers. Some of the scripts are extraordinary science fiction. Land of the Lost never talked down to kids. It made them talk about time doorways and matrices and civilizations that had grown wild and destroyed themselves, like the Sleestak and Enoch, and it dealt with this father and his 2 kids that had lost their mom and trapped in this world, and they didn't make fun of it. They played it for real. And that's the thing I think that made a lot of difference. We've had a lot of people come up to us and say their interest in science or archaeology started with Land of the Lost. In fact, 2 guys came to the table. Kathy and I were in Los Angeles at a show, and this guy comes up and he introduced himself, and he said, "Listen, I'm from Iraq." And he says, "When I was a kid, my brother and I used to watch Land of the Lost, and of course we thought you spoke Farsi because it was dubbed into Farsi."
Wow.
And he says, I am now he's one of the heads of JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs in Pasadena.
Oh my God! Wow.
And so was his brother. In fact, this guy was the one that when they discover a new star or a black hole, he's the one that creates the images of what it possibly looks like, the new worlds.
Oh my God!
So he invited Kathy and I to JPL for a VIP tour. Because of Land of the Lost and his fascination, he'd become the scientist. So we got invited to JPL. Kathy and I go there. We were allowed in every secret place of JPL. In fact, Kathy and I actually got to go with the guy to program the rover on Mars the next day and play with the switch.
Oh, my God. How is that? That's a piece of history right there. I mean, how many people get a control, put your hand on the joystick, and remote control something on another planet?
And when people at JPL heard we had gotten there, because not everybody's allowed everywhere on JPL. We had full clearance. It was amazing. I mean, now listen, we didn't move a joystick and then move the rover, because what they do is they program it with a computer. They check it, recheck it, check it, and then they send it to Mars, which takes about 8 hours before it happens.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't like it was instantaneous. We were actually like with a video game, but.
I would be fun.
Okay, Wesley, I have a question for you.
Oh, speak, great one.
Okay.
Behind the glass.
Where are you staying at in Puerto Vallarta? Gringo Gulch? When I go there, I stay at Tres Coches Cachinas or whatever. It's the 3 Crowns.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm over in the romantic zone, right on the beach at a little Mexican hotel, 5-floor walk up. And it's right on the beach, right next to, right next to Daiquiri Dick's, which is a great restaurant.
That's right. When I go down there, I go down there once a year.
Well, the last 3 years, the first year I came for a month, last year 6 weeks, and now 4 months. I just love it here.
So you must built up a relationship with the town. I mean, they know you by now.
Well, in fact, we had booked an Airbnb, and right before we came, I broke my foot. I was putting a window treatment above my bed, and I missed a stepladder and crashed. Stupid. So I've got a brace on, and I've got a knee scooter, and this place is way up a hill. Puerto Vallarta there's a little flat by the beach, and then it goes uphill. We got to the Airbnb, and our hostess, she goes, "This isn't going to work for you." She was so sweet. She gave us all of our money back, and she put a phone call into friends that own this hotel and said, "Look, give them the Mexican price because he can't get up this hill." And so so her husband is teaches literature at one of the schools. They're 11 and 12-year-olds. So I'm about to go over there and lecture on writing and for kids because they're all. Dragon Tales was a big hit here in Mexico.
Oh wow!
My show that I created for PBS.
Cool.
And so I'm going to go lecture on their class. And then my book, I have the book, The Red Wings of Christmas, which Disney bought, which is also a big hit. And it's out, and it's on Amazon.com.
Yeah. So Dragon Tale, is it syndicated then, right?
Yeah, it was PBS for 9 years, and then it went off the air. It was produced by Sony Pictures and Children's Television Workshop, which is Sesame Street.
Right. And then they make toys from that too, right? They made
huge lines of toys and games, and there was actually live production shows with life-size characters dancing and singing.
Because I know a lot of the PBS and the Disney, they got the little. I know Robbie Riss had his character Stuffy, his little dragon thing, and then I would see that. I'd say it's Dragon Tales, and there's like all these different colored dragons, right?
Yeah, it was Dragon Tales. It's almost time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand. Let's all go to Dragonland.
And I would see all the kids, moms throwing those in the shopping carts, man. So that's great. I mean, you had some good success with that.
Oh yeah, it's been fun because I got to the 70s, all the 70s kids. I was in Land of the Lost, and then I was hosting game shows for Nickelodeon in the late 80s, and then we got Dragon Tales on PBS. So I've covered a lot of generations for kids, which is fun.
Yes.
So are you spending your Christmas holiday there in Mexico?
Yeah, I'm here. We're here till middle of March, except for flying to Pensacola for Pensacon for a long weekend and flying back to Mexico.
Have you ever been to Yelapa?
Oh yeah. We've got a trip planned. Another trip planned in a couple of weeks. I have two girlfriends coming here.
I love that
it's gorgeous.
It's so secluded. It's just wonderful to escape there.
Well, and I you know what I really love here too. The culture here is extraordinary, and Christmas. I've never been to Mexico for Christmas, and the pageantry is amazing. For 12 days, from December 1st to the 12th, all the villages and stuff, they parade to the church with the Virgin Mary, and they have they combine the Catholic with the Aztec, and there's the music and the trumpets and the fireworks, and that goes on and on. And then, but what I especially like is for Christmas, gifts are not the thing here. Kids, you may give them one or two gifts, but it's about family, and the gifts are normally not given on Christmas. They're given the day the wise men supposedly gave the gifts. So it's not until January.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's very religious, too, as well.
But it's also, it's not commercial.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's totally different than the way it is here.
Yeah, the kids are not being bombarded with gifts, and it's really amazing. I mean, I must say, it was startlingly, pleasantly wonderful. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yes, it does.
I've been there, so yeah.
I'm just imagining myself there with my toes in the sand, a drink in my hand, woo, and just like, I've never been. I'm kind of jealous. You and Dan have already experienced there. Like, I'm going like, what do you, like, I feel left out now.
Aw, poor boy.
Poor Jeffrey.
You got to go.
Well,
you got to go to Yelapa where they carry pies on their heads. The ladies do.
Oh wow!
And that's what they're known for. They're pies, and they're great.
It's like my sister, my mom, everybody in my family's been but me. How about you, Mark? Have you
Never
been there?
No. I don't get out.
Part of the arts it's extraordinary. I must tell you, it is quite extraordinary. I've been coming here since the 70s, like on a cruise ship here and there, or, come for a couple of days back in the day. And we used to go to Acapulco years ago when I was on Land of the Lost. I'd go to Acapulco for Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But then Acapulco got pretty dangerous now. So,
really?
Yeah, it got dangerous. So people have stopped going there. In fact, we were there on a cruise ship once, and it was the last time a cruise ship went back. Because there was some violence in the port. But Puerto Vallarta is considered the safest city in Mexico, and it's just extraordinary. The people are extraordinary here. I mean, we just have the best new friends and fiestas and parties. And I ran into Linda Ellerby. Now, Linda Ellerby was on Nickelodeon for 20 years. She had the news show, and
wow.
Murphy Brown, the series, is based on her life.
Oh, wow.
So she has a place here. We just ran into each other the other day, and it's amazing how I ran into Leslie Jordan here the other day from Will and Grace.
Oh wow! So do they have? Do people rent? Can you rent like when you're staying? Are you staying at the same place? Do you rent a cabin or like an apartment?
I'm actually this time I'm actually in a hotel room for 4 months, which is so.
Yeah, but they have places that you could lease or rent. My aunt, her ex-husband is the one where we stay at Tres Coches China's, which is a very nice place. It's 3 stories, and we get a houseboy, El Fazio, a chef, Marie, and a maid, Maria, and they just spoil us rotten. The houseboy does everything, so we stay there for a week. I wish I could stay there for almost ever,
Oh, yeah.
But they're great people, and it's so funny. I got this funny story about Puerto Vallarta. When we went to Yelapa, our driver, because we have a driver, and he takes us in his van, and when I'm in Mexico, I try to speak Spanish. And Wesley, you're just as white as I am. And I get in the van and I go, "Hola, ¿cómo está? Buenos días." He goes, "Dude," he goes, "I speak English." He goes, "I was born in Downey." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I had to move out of L.A." I go, "Why?" He goes, "There's too many Mexicans in L.A." I'm like, "So you moved to Mexico?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I love Puerto Vallarta."
Well, I got to tell you, we've made some incredible friends and family here, and I speak Spanish okay, and so I try to only speak Spanish here because it's just I love it. But I've considered looking for a house to buy here, or to have a second home. So
is that allowed for U.S. citizens? I know a lot of places, a lot of country where we're not allowed to own property, or you could lease lease.
The rules are that you cannot buy a foreigner can't buy a property if it's 50 kilometers to the beach, or 100 miles to the border. If it's past that, you can own it outright. So if you buy a condo here in Puerto Vallarta on the beach, 1% is owned by the Mexican bank. So you control it, but in reality, you don't 100% own it.
Ah, that 1% could get you.
It could,
It's 1%.
I know that years ago in Rosarito Beach below Tijuana.
Oh, I used to go there quite frequently in the 80s.
There was in the 70s. There was a big brouhaha to change the government, and people's properties were taken from the beach, and it was pretty bad. But they changed the laws since then. So, the buildings people are buying. A lot of expats are here. A lot of Canadians are here for the. It's a lot of people from Vancouver and Toronto, which is wonderful.
But Canadians, when we go to Canada, it's a different story. we we can't own property over there, can we?
I don't know the rules for Canada. I don't know.
But I remember that in Rosarita Beach going to. There was I had a friends there in the 80s. They had this one, it was painted bubblegum pink. They called it the Pink Palace, owned by the Parson family. And and they said, well, they own the house, but they got to lease the land.
Yeah, I think that's how it used to
Yeah.
be.
Right. Well, But that they have that in Palm Springs. I live in Palm Springs, and every other block is owned by the tribes. And you don't own the land. You lease. You have a lease for specific. So 60-year lease, and you pay a fee to the Indians, the tribes, every month.
Wow, cool. How long have you lived out there? I know stunt woman Jean Coulter. She was a guest on our show. Do you know her?
I don't know Jean. No, I've been in Palm Springs full time for about 13 years.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
How about my old friend, rest in peace, Huell Hauser? Have you ever encountered with him?
Huell and my mom were best friends.
Whoa, really?
Wow, we used to love that show. Man.
I love California Gold. That's
my
amazing.
My mom, Mary Jane Loper, she used to, every week in Hollywood, there was a farmer's market on Ivor.
Uh-huh.
And my mom would have a booth there from Cal State, teaching people how to preserve food and can. And Huell lived up the street, had a house. Well, he started wandering down, met my mom, and he would come every week, and he would sit with her in her booth. And they became the best friends. And when my mom I put my mom in a nursing home in Palm Springs, and the day she passed away, Huell called her and called to talk to her. And it was, they had quite an extraordinary relationship.
That's awesome, man.
That is totally cool.
And in fact, there's two episodes. There's two episodes. My mom was judging the spam contest at
I love spam. I don't care what anybody says. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it was at the LA County Fair, and so Huell came and brought the cameras, and there's a great episode on the spam contest, and there's my mom and Huell, and he calls my mom. He goes, this is my second mom, and they're just hugging on each other and doing this episode. It's really fun.
Oh man.
That is a cool story.
I love that. That's amazing.
Are you telling me?
Are you telling me that you putting strawberries on top of whole strawberries on top of these donuts fresh every morning? That's just what I just said. That Buell.
You know what was? I mean, for me, it's fun. But a few years ago, I got my star on the Walk of Fame in Palm Springs.
Yeah, well, all right. I remember you posting that. Yeah.
But so Huell recently got his star, posthumously. People got together and got him a star. And it turns out his star is 2 stars away from mine.
Oh, that is
cool.
I
thought,
wow.
And every time I walk over there, I always say hi to Huell and my mom. And it's kind of like, for me, it means a great deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a small world, man. We all know like people that, I didn't expect to, I know that you knew Huell Hauser. I've never met you, and and then we find these connections. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I wanted to talk. There was another Saturday morning show. I loved my live action stuff. I remember Chomps.
Chomps, 86 Chomps.
Yes. Yeah. You got Valerie Bertinelli. You got Conrad Bain. You got Chuck McCann. Red Buttons. Larry Bishop. Oh, my God. Jim Backus. I mean.
Wasn't that amazing? I got to give Valerie Bertinelli. How
did you get all these people? I mean, that must have been so much fun on the set filming with all these people.
It was incredible. It was... well, first of all, Valerie. I mean, I had a huge crush on Valerie. She,
Oh, didn't we all?
Yeah,
Then Eddie Van Halen had to take her away from us.
Hello. Well, let me tell you, I got to give Valerie her first screen kiss.
Oh,
in the movie.
yes.
So, but Valerie was, I mean, please, she was and is gorgeous. And so I knew her before we worked together because I knew Mackenzie Phillips and Annie Lockhart and Deborah Lee Scott. That was a whole little group of people that used to hang out together.
Right.
And so working with Valerie was great. But I mean, come on, Chuck McCann, Red Buttons. Oh my God! I mean, it was just to watch them perform was extraordinary.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was a huge fan of Red Buttons. I mean, Poseidon Adventure, he was in that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A great character.
And for people,
and then he's
for people.
And the show is basically about you. It's you and that dog, man. You know.
It was me and the dog. It's the story. It was Hanna-Barbera's first attempt at doing a live-action movie, and it was a story. I invented a mechanical watchdog that looked like my regular dog. It was canine. CHOP stood for Canine Home Protection Systems. So he was the newest advanced home security device, and that's what the story was about.
He's such a lovable dog because everybody had that. When Benji came around, he's like the Benji dog. He's like, it's adorable. How can you not like it, a dog like this? Who wouldn't want a Chomps?
Exactly. And it played the other night. It was actually on TV again the other night. Somebody on Facebook said, "Hey, I'm watching Chomps now."
All right.
But in Australia, it was one of their top movies, so that was great.
Oh gosh. Now, who is the? Now, when Conrad was on that, was that before he did that other show with the?
With
what was the name of that show? God.
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes, yes.
So I'm talking to Conrad. We're on the set. He says, "Yeah, I've got these. They want me to do a new series. I've got these pilots. I keep turning them down, and we're working on this new show, Different Strokes, and I don't like the script yet. And the rest is history. It became one of the best shows ever. And in fact, we were just with Todd Bridges at Chiller in New Jersey a few weeks ago at an autograph show, and he's quite a character. He's wonderful."
Yeah. So how long did that was a series too, right? Not just a movie, right?
What, Chomps?
Yeah.
No, Chomps was just a movie, just a feature.
Oh, I thought they made a series because I watched it several times and I thought, I saw it. I was watching it about 3 years ago. Yeah, I was watching it at home.
My favorite story for starring in a movie, I starred in a movie called Toolbox Murders with Cameron Mitchell and Pamela Ferdin.
Ah, I remember that title.
And it was, and I'm the killer.
Oh, and you're the killer.
So, spoiler alert. So anyway, I'm roller skating. This will tell you how long ago it is. I'm roller skating at Venice Beach when roller skating was really popular. And, it's a time Venice Beach was a little sketchy, and you weren't supposed to stay there after dark because of the gangs. So I've got my roller skates on. I'm having a great day. I'm not paying any attention to the time. I suddenly look around, and the lights are coming on, the street lights. I'm realizing, oh, gosh, I shouldn't be here. And I'm seeing this gang of guys on roller skates, mind you.
Oh, what?
They're circling me. And I'm all by myself, and these are big, scary-looking guys. And I'm thinking, oh, boy, I'm really in trouble. This is ridiculous. And this big guy comes roller skating up to me. And I'm thinking, I'm dead. I'm gonna be stabbed. And he goes, "You on Toolbox Murders?" And I go, "Yeah."
All right.
He goes, "Me no screw with you, man. Me no screw with you."
Me no screw with you.
I changed the language for radio, but
it's okay. It's uncensored here.
Oh, okay.
You can.
I would go roller skating there back at Venice, and these guys would see me. They'd come roller skating up to me, and they'd say, "Hey, we're going to skate with you today. We'll take care of you." And they became my friends.
And it was that role. You were the murderer, and they're going like, "Okay, let's not fuck with this."
Well, it was pretty scary. It was in 1979. It was the #1 drive-in box office hit of that year.
Wow.
Drive-in, and Stephen King said in the early 80s, says, if you have to stay home and watch horror movies, Toolbox Murders is one of my top 10.
That was great costume. Mark just pulled it up and showed me the movie, the lobby card poster. It's great. Now, who's that girl? Who's that girl on the
That's
poster?
Pamela Furton. Pamela was, I think, on a lot of TV shows. She was the best little girl crier on television at the time. I think she was on My Three Sons. I think she was on a whole bunch of different shows as a little girl.
Oh wow! Not that girl. What, Dodie? Is that what her name was?
No.
Oh, that's another. She's got her hand covering her face on the lobby card. I can't.
She's screaming. She's screaming.
She's screaming.
Yeah.
Now, what was that costume that you had with the hood and everything? What were you wearing?
Well, you'll have to watch the movie.
You're gonna make me watch it all over again. Okay.
You got to watch the movie. Yeah.
That's my homework. I'm gonna rewatch all these movies now.
Have drill will travel.
Yeah. Now that was I do. Is that a cordless drill? We didn't have much cordless tools back then, did we? We had
it was high. It was high. Yeah, we were high teching. I remember. So Toolbox Murders and Chomps came out basically the same time. So imagine this: a rainy day in Hollywood. A bunch of my friends said, "I said, hey, one of my movies is opening. Let's go. It's open. It's playing down the street on Hollywood Boulevard at one of the cheesy theaters at the time was really kind of going under." And so I had like 10 friends, right? It's a rainy day. Everybody's got jackets on, and we go sit, and suddenly Toolbox Murders starts. And it's very, very gory with deaths, with things. And I looked down the aisle at my friends, and every one of them had taken their jackets and put it over their heads, not to watch. and my friend Lisa, she turns to me, she says, "I thought this was the Hanna-Barbera movie we were seeing today."
Nope. What a twist, man.
I know.
That's great.
Surprise.
Scaring all your friends. That's and they should know better. He's like, "Oh, it's you." But hey,
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. The effect, you know, you did it right when they're throwing their jackets over their head.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I recently did one of the fan shows because I starred in a couple of horror movies, and it's amazing how many people still have the posters of the different movies. I find it extraordinary and flattering. It's really kind of nice.
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't easy to come by. You know, have you ever autographed any movie posters from fans?
I have. I've autographed Chomps or two, and Toolbox Murders, Jennifer, which I get eaten by snakes. But yeah, a couple of them, and I get a lot of people buy my books. I wrote one of my books is The Red Wings of Christmas, which of course sells really well this time of the year, and Disney bought it for an animated feature, and I wrote the screenplay and the songs for Disney. It's still sitting on the shelf. They paid me, but it's sitting on the shelf. And
did you release? Did you make some good money on that? I mean, did it?
Well, it's still doing really well, and it's this story. It's the story of when a toy is broken and not to be played with anymore. At night, the heart of the broken toy comes out and breaks in half because it's sad, and makes sure that the toy is truly not going to be played with again, because even a broken toy can be loved. And when they're sure it's never to be played with, the two halves of the heart light on the back of the toy and begin to unfurl and become these large red wings called the Red Wings of Christmas. Oh, wow. And they fly every broken toy back to Father Christmas's toy sack. And inside the toy sack is this infinite world where every broken toy comes to be repaired. So no toy ever dies, no toy is ever left behind. And they're come to be modernized, whatever it takes to find a new home. And it's the story of this little boy in the 1850s named Albert. And he's washed overboard in a storm in a wooden cradle and is raised on the River Thames as a mudlark when they were little kids that scavenged the banks for coal and driftwood, anything they could sell. And they always sang. And he's raised by this old washerwoman named Tessariah. And one night, he loses everything he loves. It's very Dickensian, very sad. And he's under the Tower Bridge at midnight when something falls on him. And he enters this world where no child has been and begins this adventure. And this is they're called The Red Wings of Christmas. It's available on Kindle or on Amazon.com or hardback from Pelican Publishing.
Do you have illustrations in the book?
Extraordinary. And guess Ron Palillo from Welcome Back, Kotter, who played Horshack.
Oh yeah,
did the illustrations.
Oh, how cool!
So Ron, I knew Ron, and Ron was an incredible artist. Ron passed away a few years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
And Ron did pen and ink. You've got to go and check. Go to Amazon and just check it out and see some of the illustrations. Or go to my Facebook page. I posted a lot of the illustrations on the book.
Oh, cool.
At Wesley Eure, E-U-R-E. And so when I sold the book, it took me a while to sell the book. And when I sold the book, I saw Ron's drawings. I said, Ron, you need to do the drawings for me. So he did the first sketch, which is the first sketch of the book, as his audition for the publishers. And he got it, obviously. And they're extraordinary. Wait till you see them. I think you'll be surprised at how amazing Ron's art is.
That's awesome.
And
I never knew
he spelled his name differently than he did on the TV series, the Palillo. He spelled it the original Italian, Ron Paolillo, instead of Palillo.
Oh,
and
wow.
in honor of his father.
That's cool, man. I have a thing for excuse me, for broken toys. Like, I'm a toy collector, you know. That's why I go to these shows and stuff. I buy a lot of collector's action figures, and even ones I find that are broken, I like, you know, because I'm a tinkerer. I build things for Disney and stuff, and sometimes I'll customize them or I'll fix them. So I can relate to the broken toy thing. Bring all your broken toys to Jeffrey, everybody. When your unwanted toys.
I just picked up a really great. I found it. I won't tell you where I found it, but it wasn't your usual place. But it says cast iron clown that has, you know, you put a coin in his hand and he swallows it.
Oh yeah, those are.
And it's a bank.
Yeah. Now those could be reissues too, Dan.
No, this is an original.
This original.
Yeah, and it was from not a swap meet, but a yard sale.
Oh, cool! Great score.
So yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
do you go to yard sales?
Love yard sales. Years ago,
good. We got a good story here.
years ago, I would go to garage sales with my mom in Beverly Hills every weekend, because in Beverly Hills, what people are throwing away is a lot different than what people are throwing away, you know, in Simi Valley.
Oh yeah.
And my favorite garage. Oh, my favorite story of all is true story, and this happened to a friend of mine. I swear this is true. So it's a garage sale, Beverly Hills. You know, it's got a lot of stuff, and there is a Jaguar out front that is his dream car. It's a couple of years old. Basically 2 years old, you know, just beautiful, beautiful car. It's the car he's always dreamt of, and there's a for sale sign on it. And he goes up to the lady that's having the garage sale. He goes, so I know I can't afford it, but how much are you asking for your car? And she says, how much money do you have?
Oh wow!
And he says, I could get like $2,000. She says it's yours.
Wow.
Oh.
And he comes, he races to the bank, grabs the $2,000, comes back, pays it. She gives him the title, signed over to him, and he says, "Why are you selling this car that's worth, you know, tens of thousands of dollars?" And she said, "Oh, I just found out my husband's on the island with a secretary." And all the stuff on the lawn is his.
Excellent. What a deal, man. Lucky strike.
He had everything of his on the lawn, selling it.
Oh wow! Yard sale, yeah. Prove it's yours, pal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great story and a great score, man.
Yeah,
oh man!
I remember when my parents got divorced. My mom took all of my dad's stuff, all of his stuff in the garage, all of his tools, his hammers, his like wood cutters, everything. Took it to the swap meet, and you know, she made a ton of money. And my dad came home. He's like, "I just want to get my stuff," and she goes, "It's already gone."
It's already gone. Oh. You never know. You never know when you go to a yard sale and you get a good deal on something like. There could be another story there, man.
What is the story behind it?
What year Jaguar was it anyway? I love Jaguars.
I don't remember. I don't know. But it was a car that in his lifetime he could never have afforded.
Jaguar. They call them Jaguars.
Jaguar, yes. Yes, very much.
So it sounds
well, boys, listen, I have to run.
No, don't leave. Wesley, when are you going to be back in town in L.A.?
Well, I'm not back until after AllCon in Dallas at the end of March, and then we got a few other things. But I'll be back in Palm Springs in March.
Okay, well, we'll hook up. Maybe I'll come out there and we could do some lunch, huh?
That would be. I really love that very much.
And then I could introduce you to Jean Coulter, the world's greatest stunt woman. I mean, she's done it for Jaws. I mean, Charlie's Angels, every show you've seen, and she is so badass. I mean, she would do all these stunts and crazy stuff with just, you got to be in a girl in shorts and, no padding, jumping out of cars at 50 miles an hour. And she's just an adorable sweetheart. And I'm surprised you haven't met her.
Palm Springs is an amazing place. It's like everybody comes there at some point. I mean, and of course it's changed. It's becoming younger and younger celebrities and people. But there's so many different celebrities that I have become friends with there. I was at a restaurant the other night in Palm Springs, and a guy comes up to me and goes, "You're Wesley Uhr." And I go, "Yeah, I am." He says, "I'm doing a movie here in town. I want you in my movie."
All right.
And I go, "Oh, great." And I go, "What's the movie?" He says, "Oh, it's William Shatner, Michael Lloyd, and Gene Smart. Christopher Lloyd, and Gene Smart."
Oh, wow.
And sure enough, he gave me a part in the movie. They were there filming, and William Shatner was there. It's called Senior Moment. It'll be out, I think, Valentine's Day. But it was all shot in Palm Springs. And so I said, "Well, do you want anybody else from Palm Springs in this movie?" Because I just did a cameo.
Right,
he said, "Yeah, because it's all about Palm Springs, and we want people from Palm Springs." So I called Kay Ballard.
Oh, my God, the mothers-in-law.
And I got Kay a job in it. And then I called Ruta Lee. If you remember Ruta, she was on an Andy Griffith show, a lot of different shows, and then she was the card turner for Card Sharks.
Card Sharks. Yes.
She and Debbie Reynolds had the biggest the Thalians fundraisers every year in Los Angeles for mental health. She's gorgeous. I called Lucy Arnaz, which was in but she was busy. So it was kind of fun. I was like, I was calling everybody that lived in Palm Springs. I called Gavin McLeod. I said, "Gavin, you want to be in a movie?"
How cool
but he was
is
heading
that?
he was heading out on the 50th anniversary of Princess Cruises at the time. So it was kind of fun. But there we were in Palm Springs with, Christopher Lloyd and Gene Smart and Shatner.
Wow.
I dig Palm Springs. My wife's uncle lives in Palm Springs in Cathedral City. And we went to see him one year because I had a meeting. I had a convention, a sales convention. And it was during the white thing, the white parade, I guess it is, for the gay
Right, the
community.
white party, yeah.
Yeah, and so we see all these gay people, and her uncle's this old Italian guy, Jimmy. I'm like, "Jimmy, do you mind all these gay, there's a ton of gay people hanging out." He goes, "No, I don't care. I'm old." That's why the gays like it here, because we're old and we don't give a care. Except he didn't say care, he said the F.
Well, Palm Springs now has, for the first time in history in the United States, the entire city council is LGBT.
Wow.
And you know what? And what the people in Palm Springs love gay community so much is the property values skyrocketed. Those guys and gals changed the entire economy of Palm Springs, redid the houses when Palm Springs was just dying, and it came back with
brought
a flourish.
the value up, and they got lots of money.
Yeah, if you look at places like West Hollywood and the Castro district in San Francisco, it goes from scum to whoa, this place is beautiful,
Yep.
Yep.
They really take care of their stuff, I mean.
Well, the problem with artists moving into a community like Greenwich Village and stuff, is the artists come in there. It's affordable. Nobody wants to live there. Suddenly, it becomes the hippest place to live. Money starts coming in there, and now the artists can't live there. They can't afford it, and they have to leave. Yeah. It's a cycle that happens in cities all across the country. It's really amazing. Well, listen, guys, you guys have been a lot of fun. I've got a very busy day. I have a margarita and a piece of sand on the blanket waiting for me.
I want a drink of that margarita. I got to wait till after work today to go to Pacific Wine Merchants to get my drink.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wesley, thank you.
Have a tough day, Wesley.
To have a tough day, Wesley.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much telling your stories. We had a great time, and you're welcome to do the show. You're heading out to L.A. if you want to come in the studio and do even do a better show. You're more than welcome. You are now a friend of the show. Thank you so much. Enjoy your
guys,
vacation.
Happy holidays.
You too. Merry Christmas, brother.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And if you need more information, check out his website.
If you need more information, just friend him on Facebook.
Or do that.
Yes. That was great. Thank you. That was Wesley from Land of the Lost.
I wanted him to tell a story about the movie Jennifer, where he got pooped on by the snakes. So we'll have to remember that.
We'll have to bring him here live in the studio, along with Kathy Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get her in here.
Yeah, get her in here, man.
Yep.
On a Friday.
So here we are. It's Taco Tuesday. Oh, man, we got tacos in there. Did you notice that, Mark?
I did not notice there.
Yeah, he brought tacos in.
From Alberto's. Yeah.
Alberto Tacos. Yeah, but they're not our sponsor, so we're not going to plug them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take back what I said.
We're going to plug Pacific Wine Merchants and Cigar Exchange in downtown Upland.
Yeah, where's the rest of our special guest?
Yeah, where the hell is Benny? Okay.
Well, Benny can't. I think after 8:30. So by the time he gets here, it'll be 10.
We're going to call him. I'm going to put him right on the air right here.
And then
Greg's got kids to take.
You know what? His kids are grown up. No excuses for that guy.
Nah, they're still in school, aren't they?
They're still in school. What? I didn't need my mommy. My mom didn't say, "Oh, my kids." Oh, Jeffrey. When I was in 7th grade. Come on, I was running my own program.
Yeah, I'd
So were you, Mark. So were you, Dan.
I walked barefoot in 3 feet of snow to go to school.
Yeah.
Uphill and down.
Yes.
Uphill and down.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hey, Benny.
Yeah.
Your boss is on the phone. Tell him.
Where are you? You left me here all by myself.
I thought you weren't going.
I've been here the whole time.
Well, I just dropped my kids off, so if you want me to come, I can come. But I'm on I could be okay. I'll be there as soon as I can get there. I'm on 8th and campus. I'm coming.
All right. See you in a few minutes.
Doors open.
He's either coming or he's breathing heavy. I'm not sure.
Okay. Now we're gonna bust. Bust the chops of Greg Gross right now. Where is his number?
Mr. Gross.
There we go. Here we go.
He's a mean one, Mr. Gross.
I don't want to hear his bullshit either.
I got a hangover. He didn't even drink last night, so.
What?
No.
Not sure. What's this I hear? You didn't even drink a beer last night. What's wrong with you?
Nope, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I stayed out past my bedtime.
Yeah. Get your ass in here.
What time is it?
It's time for
It's time for you to get up and go to work.
Yeah, you're an hour late.
Your boss is here, man, so you better get your shit together and get down here.
Yeah, well, he's out playing, and I got to go to work.
You don't have to be there till 9.
Yeah.
I bet the youngsters didn't clean very well, so I probably got a nice job ahead of me when I get there.
No. It's called let them. That's a job for them when they return. Okay. We're gonna get the old school whip out.
Hey, listen, I get asked.
The Krampus twitches are ready, man.
Yeah.
I'll get some ass whipping just for bringing in tacos. Come on, Dan brought in tacos. It's Taco Tuesday.
Are you still in bed?
Yeah, drinking coffee.
In bed.
Such a
and
hard
I could have
life.
slept in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Jeff,
I counted
Jeff
on
could have
all
canceled
three.
the show, and
You're supposed to represent. You're a sponsor, man. You're supposed to be Three Amigos. Come meet the Three Amigos.
I smoked 18 cigars last night at a Christmas party.
well, that's 2 less than you normally smoke. So what's the problem?
I hope you got a cigar, Buzz. Hawk that loogie, brother.
Cough up that lung.
I was going to say, get that other lung out there.
I'm going to watch you on the YouTubes, and if you're entertaining, I'll come down.
Well, we only got a half hour, so by the time you get onto
I know,
YouTube and
that's
take a
why
shower,
I
blah
gotta-
blah
I
blah
gotta-
blah blah.
You need to
blah,
get
blah,
your
blah,
ass
blah,
up
blah,
anyway.
blah. Get to work
to wash
and
my
don't
balls.
smoke a cigar.
Get your goat smelling ass out of bed and get on out that door. Whether you're coming here or going there.
Yeah, get to it.
All right, get on the radio and make funny.
Hey,
We
hey,
did make funny, but our guest Wesley was very.
I mean, you guys are making radio ugly. Now make it funny.
Oh, okay. Now listen.
Well, it would have been uglier if you would have been here.
Yeah.
I got a face for radio.
Yes,
Yeah.
Well,
we all
guess
do.
who we're getting Friday?
Who's coming Friday, Jeff?
We got.
Actually, I went, but I went to the wrong radio station. I went to the #1 radio station, and
Well, we're the #1 morning show in the Inland Empire.
#1 morning show in the Inland Empire, the Jeff Sargent Show.
Yeah, the Jeff Sargent Show. So I got a text back from Jack Grisham,
yeah.
and I said, Greg and I will pick you up. And he goes, and he answered back, that scares me.
Yeah.
So he says he's going to rent a car, and I can't spoil it but there's somewhere else he's going to be, and so he's going to be here Friday morning.
Friday morning, I can be there easy. That's easier for me. I don't got to go to work Friday morning.
I do, so I can't be here. That's great advertising for smoking cigars.
We're trying to plug Cigar Exchange, and you're sitting there going, 18 cigars. Hawking up the big green one. How dare you?
That was from the fucking beep beep beep. That was from the chicken. How can it limit for chicken?
That was from your buffalo chicken.
Yeah, that's buffalo chicken.
Now that would be another noise, Greg.
Well, that was a minute
Yeah,
ago.
that's a noise we can't play on the radio.
That was a couple minutes ago after I drank some milk and had some coffee. It went right through.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Chicken.
I'm sure.
It was kind of like my experience at, was it Sausage Fest or Chili Fest? No, it was Chili Fest. When you won the chili, I was...
You poop your pants?
Shut up. Don't you tell anybody about that.
And washed them out in Ben's bathroom sink? Yeah. Tell me about that.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to change my underwear. Okay, it's out there.
there it's.
Thanks. That was your award-winning chili.
Yes. That made you poop your pants? I thought it was my Triple H impression.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna hang up on your ass then. You know. So.
I'm gonna hang up on you first.
Oh, like that, huh?
Oh,
Whoa,
yeah?
Oh.
I don't know who did it.
Oh,
but-
how dare he?
Wow.
Oh man.
Well, there you go. That was a highlight number 2.
That was
Or 3.
number 2.
So we've had.
Let me tell you. Did I already say how good my bagel was on the air?
Oh yes, you told us how good.
Yes,
the bagel
you
was.
did.
And they're not a sponsor, so you can't.
No,
they are.
a sponsor.
Oh, they are a sponsor. Well, very good. Let's mention their name. Who are
New
they?
York Bagel Company on
York Bagel
Archibald and Foothill. Right here in lovely Rancho Cucamonga.
Now, not only the water, New York water to make the bagels, when they make you a breakfast sandwich with their New York water in their bangles.
That was
When
a
they put
band
their
back
bangles
the
in their bagels, they put the bangle in the bagels. And I'm craving that stuff right now. I know it's Taco Tuesday, we got tacos here, but I feel I'm in the mood to go to New York Bagels in Rancho Cucamonga on the corner of Archibald and Foothill and get that blueberry bagel, cinnamon bagel with egg sausage and cheese, and it just melts in your mouth. It is the best. It's so fresh. I need another one.
You're jonesing for a bagel.
I'm jonesing for a bagel.
Not just a bagel, but in New York.
But I'm also want this afternoon. I will be in to or this evening. What time will we close? You closed early, yes. Okay. Well, how late are we open? What are the hours?
8 o'clock today. So
Pacific Wine Merchants is open till 8 o'clock today. I hope to see some of you down there because I need to get some of my fruity ass beer. Give me a glass of fruity ass. Now, when I say that, it's my favorite strawberry beer in Fruity in a bottle. Yes, that's one of my favorite.
Strawberry beer.
I like. You know what? I miss when I go to Rock House too. What happened with my?
Oh, your shandy.
My lemonade shandy. And then Sue's not there anymore. She's the one who makes it for me.
No, so yep. I don't know if the shandy will continue with.
Well, okay. If I bring in the lemons, can I have it made, please?
Well, if you bring in the lemonade.
The lemonade. Okay, we'll make the lemonade in the bottle.
Yep, bring it.
And,
bring it, and you can shandy. I think,
and we could shandy it.
We'll have to get the recipe from Sue so it's officially delicious.
I would love to have this recipe as well at Pacific Wine Merchants because that's my pit stop.
We could probably work on that.
We could work on that.
So, Mark, what are the hours this Friday?
Friday we're open 10 to 10. So that'll be what, the 23rd?
Yeah.
Or 22nd, I guess.
My brother.
Manger Benny is in the house. Grab a seat, grab a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen,
the face of the vent.
Manger Benny.
The Manja.
With the award-winning sausage from Sausage Fest.
So who's our musical guest at the...
he's our musical programmer.
On Friday at the wine show.
I think we don't have one.
Uh-oh.
I think we don't have one. I think...
Pull it up. Who do we got listed?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
He's working on it.
Alan.
Our last... Yeah.
Oh, is it Alan?
No, Alan's, I think, the 29th.
Okay.
I think so.
My brother-in-law, Mark, you remember Mark. He used to live right up the street from us. He moved to Seattle, but they're coming down for the holidays. So Friday night, we're going to be down at
That's
your place.
great. We can see the Rups and the
Weavers.
And the Weavers.
My in-laws, yes.
Very nice.
His
Very
brother,
nice.
Mark Weaver. Everybody knows Mark Weaver. Yep.
He's been around forever.
He's in the. He's a musician. He is a bass player for. He was in the Death Penalty with Corey Miller, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that
DJ.
sounds good. What else we got, Benny? What's going on?
What do we didn't talk about what we're doing Friday. We're doing a bright and bubbly wine tasting and
Bright and bubbly.
And a Christmas beer tasting. So we're gonna have four Christmas style beers for you, and a Steal the Glass.
Oh, Steal the Glass! Yes, take home that special Steal the Glass. And what's going to be printed on the glass?
We've got like 15 plus different glassware right now, so you're gonna be able to choose whatever's in stock at the time. So anything from Sierra Nevada to Track 7 to like I said, I don't want to sit here and name all 15.
Yes.
Not that I could, but we have a lot of glassware to go, and you'll find something you like.
Okay. Now
You can do both tastings if your liver is up to it. So
do we do a deal on both tastings?
Yeah.
Something like that.
we'll
if you do
figure
both.
something out.
they'll make a deal with you guys. Come on down.
Yes.
Now is it? Is Thomas going to be wearing his tie? Is he going to be wearing pants or his skirt? Oh, I mean kilt.
No. He only wears his kilt for special events, like last night's Christmas party.
Yeah, barefoot.
He had socks and shoes on last night. Believe it or
What?
not.
No way.
I think it's a little too cold for bare feet. But
Yeah.
that's the only thing that probably dissuaded him.
Yeah.
For the Hobbit feet.
Hairy hobbit feet.
Yeah.
That'll keep your feet warm in this freezing cold Southern California weather.
I know. What did we hit? Like 54 last night?
Yeah,
God,
burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the heaters on.
with the heaters on, everybody's dying out there. But yeah, it'll be good. It's Friday. It'll be fun. I'll get somebody good. I mean, I have I have a laundry list to go down, and
Yeah, even for Saturday too.
maybe Jeff Sargent will come perform on Friday.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, bring your racket.
We're gonna have to. It's gonna probably
But keep
be
your
Saturday morning theme songs.
But keep your pants up, please.
Yeah, Saturday morning theme songs.
That's all right. Pat Jankwitz will sing for you.
Oh yes.
Where
we'll
is
get-
where is Pat?
Monster Man? Okay, I'm gonna bust his balls, man. I'm gonna bust his balls right now. Did I lie and say he was on an audition?
I don't know,
Yeah.
did you lie?
No, I think he's in the Funko warehouse playing with toys.
What?
Oh, that's
Well, I don't blame him. I mean, I'd rather go there right now.
Yeah,
No offense. But,
I know. There's a few new figures out that I would like to get. What's the latest action figure you got?
Me?
Movie themed.
Movie themed?
Yeah.
I don't. I got the last thing I picked up was a 12-inch Marvel Icons Deadpool from the GameStop exclusive.
Oh,
That was the last one I think I grabbed.
How was the sculpt on that?
Oh,
Was it 3D print?
No, I don't think they're doing much. I mean, I know they do.
Was it the movie character or the comic version?
Oh no, it was this. It was a comic version. It was like a X Weapon X version. He had like short sleeves. He was mostly in black, but it's one of those great ones where they have the extra hands and heads. So he's got the mask on, mask off, and he's got the chimichanga hand. So he's eating the chimichanga in the other hand. If you want to put that hand on there,
That's
so.
pretty cool.
Yeah, they're hard to come by, and this GameStop over at the Plaza had one, so I had to run over there and hold it for me, please.
Hold it for me.
mine,
Yeah,
mine.
And hey, Benny, we have tacos right outside the door.
What?
It's Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco
That's true.
Tuesday.
It is.
We
Trying to
celebrate it.
It is.
What I want to do, okay, I finally made it over to Lamley Theater in Claremont, and I went and saw Star Wars by myself, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking merchandise. Okay, what action figure would I like those little frosty fox dogs or whatever they are.
Oh yeah, the little crystalline foxes. Yeah.
They really didn't even have a name for them. They
No.
call them the sparkly critters or
Well,
whatever.
yeah, I think that's what they were. I was reading something about that before the movie came out, and it's just got to do with all the salt on the planet, just how they would have like they're picking up the salt, it's sticking to them, and sort
Okay,
of like,
so I thought it was frost.
no, that planet's all like you
'Cause
saw.
it's-
You saw the guy lean down and lick it and go, "Oh, salt." You know?
It's salt, and then it's all like red plants, kind of like Mars underneath.
Yeah, a lot of mineral deposits making the whole planet bright red, which
Yeah.
I thought was pretty cool. That whole
That
scene.
was a pretty cool thing. That would make an excellent gift. I thought they might come out with it, or I could sculpt one. By the time I end up sculpting one, there's probably one going to hit the shelf at one of the comic book stores.
And it'll be way better because it'll be like like clear resins, so it'll look really
Yeah.
shiny, and you're gonna be all sad about it.
You know, like unless I cast it, it would be expensive, man. Cast it in the clear resin,
let's
make
not.
it brittle.
And then you'll get a cease and desist anyways. So
Cease and desist for pirate toys at the conventions.
we haven't gotten one for our other project yet, so I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't mention it out loud.
Yeah.
But you haven't. Have you waxed enough on Star Wars at this point? I mean,
No, we really barely touched on
well,
it.
did you do it? Did you talk yesterday about it?
No, I didn't. No, we didn't. There's no spoilers.
But Mark hasn't seen it, and we can't do spoilers, right? 'Cause
No, we can't.
I haven't seen it either.
John dies at
He
the
was
end.
already
Yeah.
trying to, he was already
Yeah.
trying to spoil it.
I say that for every movie. John dies at the end.
Darth Vader is still dead. I
did mention that he and the
Of course,
did
Andy
not care for the movie. So.
Andy Serkis is once again doing his
mocap.
the locat where they put he does the characters, all the CG characters. Yes, in every movie it seems like
Yeah, he's kind of cornered the market on
he's
that.
cornered the market on the facial expressions for characters. And, that's when you put the cap on and they put the little locator balls, tracking balls on your face at different points in your face.
This one, I will just say I'm not gonna, this is the most divisive one, I believe. I feel like it's got more people at odds than any other Star Wars. It's something crazy when you see Rotten Tomatoes critic review at 93% and then the audience view at 56%.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got people right down the middle. I feel that unless you are really, I think it has to be both extremes. You have to be very, very into Star Wars, or you have to not care about Star Wars. I think either way, you're going to enjoy it. I think people that maybe consider themselves Star Wars fans that are kind of part-timers,
Yeah.
or guys that definitely aren't but claim to be, I think those guys are let down a lot. I think that anybody who's been sticking with it for a long time, I don't see how you could be disappointed.
Oh, I was not disappointed. I want to go see it a second time because I'm going to.
It was huge.
I know I'm going to see different
full.
things that I missed.
Yeah, it was very, very full. That 2.5 hours was nonstop, and I haven't gotten back to see it yet, which I'm already ashamed of. But I'm gonna get there as soon as I can, and I'm sure there's tons of things I missed, but I was such a fan of.
I missed a few things because I was on there texting, trying to get people on for the show.
Yeah,
I was texting
you're that guy.
I was texting Wesley and a few other people to book through the end of the week, and I lift my head up like, oh crap, I got to come back here, and I missed why this happened right here. It was a split. You take your eyes off it for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, you're gonna miss something.
Yeah, and absolutely, that one was pretty quick. It was moving pretty fast. So, but they cut it down from 3 hours. So, I mean, that's if you feel like there was ever kind of a little bit of a flow problem, that was probably why. I'm hoping they're going to release a director's cut. Yeah, I would hope so because I'm sure there's great stuff that they couldn't fit into the runtime that you want to see. Same with things like Lord of the Rings. I don't even watch the theatrical releases anymore because I'm such a nerd about that stuff, and I have the extended editions. So
yeah,
I think that Return of the King comes out to like 4 hours when you watch the extended edition, and it's
well, wait till this comes out on a Blu-ray package, and you get extra behind the scenes and all that.
40 hours of extras.
40 hours of extras, yes. Yeah.
It's literally just like B-roll guys walking around backstage. This is what I paid for.
Did you get your D&D character? Did it show up?
You know what? I went to bed after the party last night, and I went, wait a minute, it was supposed to show up today. It did not show up on time. The people at HeroForge.com are not on their shipping game, or I guess it is Christmas, so I could probably cut them some slack.
You cut them some slack because it's a madhouse there. You know how it gets. Every company, every shipping company. I mean, come on, FedEx, United,
I shouldn't
UPS.
say anything. I shouldn't say anything bad. They offer a very cool site, offer a really cool product. If you are in the need of custom miniatures, they do some fantastic things.
Are these painted or unpainted?
They come unpainted. Yeah. You can buy them a couple different ways. You can buy 3 different varying qualities of plastics. So anywhere from $14 to $30 on the plastics, which is cool. And then
you have to use a magnifying glass.
You definitely have to use a magnifying glass. You have to use. I have the desk lamp with the magnifier. You're looking through that, and
thing with the magnifier. Yeah.
Some people do the jewelry glasses and all that sort of thing. It's very, very intricate work, but they'll also let you buy it in I believe steel. Maybe not steel. Maybe it is steel. Steel and bronze. You can get a bronze miniature. That is, however, $100, and I'm not willing to do that. You can also, it's really cool. They also do give you the option for only $10 to do the 3D print file, so you can print it yourself if you wanted to.
Oh wow, that's cool. If you could do that. I was while I was waiting to get my ticket for the show. I bought it early, and I go into that comic book store. Right there by Lamley Theater, that one in Claremont.
A shop called Quest.
I like that place. They got some good the 3D stuff, good action, the figures. Gosh, I wanted to get they even got Rick and Morty in several different versions.
I don't think I've been in. I've been into the one. I believe they have their first locations in Redlands, in downtown Redlands. And I've been to that one. I haven't been to I don't think I've ever been into the Claremont one.
Oh, you got to go in there. They got some good stuff in there. And the prices are pretty reasonable too. They got on all their action,
I think I've glanced at it walking by and avoided it simply because it looked clean, and that's not how I want my comic book shops to look. I want messy, dirty boxes of back issues that I can dig through for hours.
It's probably their ordinance. It's probably.
I know
the stuff. It's there on the walls.
To be fair, if I see Pat Jankwitz sitting in front of a long box, I probably want to go into because
he'll be sitting down at the top of his head by the 50-cent bin.
Wait, excuse me, quarter bin.
The 25-cent bin.
50 cent is way too rich for Jankwitz blood.
Yeah,
and he'll pull out a stack 2 feet tall of that they've had alphabetized.
Yeah.
And he'll decide that after pulling them all out, he wants 2 of them, and then hand the stack back to the guy. And I'm sure
it's all out of whack. It's not an alphabetical.
I'm sure he has
It's
many
alphabet chaos.
Yes, many death wishes for these comic people.
Yeah. Here comes Pat. Come on. Hey chum, want to go do Frankenstein's?
Do you have quarter books or broken toys? I would like those.
Yeah, I got $4. We could get a lot.
Now let's just spend the rest of the show talking bad about Pat Jenkins.
Yeah, let's bust his balls. He's probably in the quarter bin right now.
Did he ever tell the story on here about how I defended him on a radio show he did in Seattle?
No.
Oh God, this was let's see. I was living in the house maybe 9 years ago now, and he had posted somewhere that probably on Facebook that he was going to be on a radio show in Seattle. I'm sure he was up there for Emerald City Comic Con, and somebody put him on because he had just published his first book. Correct me. He'll have to correct me later if I'm wrong.
Jaws Companion?
Yeah, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
Yeah.
A companion's guide to Jaws. And they were interviewing him about that. And actually, I called in before he went on because whoever had did a pre-interview with him was saying, this guy is batshit crazy. They were like just going off the rails like, this guy's nuts. You wait till you hear him, and he's just this and he's that. And like, I felt like I had to defend Pat because I'm sure none of you guys know this, or you might know this, but nobody listening knows this, that when I was in high school, I graduated in 2001, so I've been out for a while. But Pat Jankowitz was one of our substitute teachers in high school.
Yeah.
So it would be a really good day when you got Mr. J. Most of my friends still call him Mr. J. Like we don't even call him Pat.
Julie Preston calls him that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody calls him that, and it would be a cool day because he would come in and be like, "Oh man, Mr. J, what movie have you done recently?" Because he's an extra, does a lot of extra work. So he's like, "Oh, I just did this video with have you heard of Tupac Shakur?" I'm like, "What?" Like he's in the California Love music video tied to the dome, like the Return to Thunderdome style thing, and he's tied up there. Has great stories about that. But Joe Dirt and all those ridiculous Fight Club, and so you see him in a lot of movies. So he's always a fun sub to have, and he was pretty relaxed. You didn't usually have to get in trouble from him. So, but I had to call in that radio station. I told them that same story I just mentioned, and I said I got to defend Pat here, and they were like, and they asked me, I think on a scale of, and Pat still knows this quote because he doesn't forget anything he's ever seen or heard.
Yeah,
and they said on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy is he? And I thought about it. I said, I think he's a lovable 5. So, like, to this day, he still talks about,
the lovable
he told
5.
me I was a lovable 5.
Now it's a movie, The Lovable 5. 5 characters walk the face of the earth in search of a good deal in a comic book bin.
Yeah. So, just classic stuff with Pat there.
So, let me ask you this, Benny. What are you watching on TV? You too, Mark, because I want to know what you're watching on TV. If you watch TV.
Do you have time to watch TV, Mark? You're pretty busy running around taking care of shit.
When he's free, I hear him over there playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You actually take the time. Good. I'm going to call you more often.
Matter of fact, I think that's what I'll do. Oh no, I got to go to the store. But
I'm so
and I forgot the Ian is holding a D&D session with his old group. So
God damn it! Nobody invited me.
I know. Me either.
Jeez.
I wasn't invited. So
we TV for us right now. I think we're still on the coming back from break. A lot of shows maybe haven't come back yet, but we picked back up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And what I'm going to tell you is sort of like dated, I think. But my wife and I don't have a ton of shows that we're watching at the moment, so we've gone back into the Netflix archives. And I know we're late to the show, but we just pretty much started watching Orange Is the New Black. So again, that's.
I haven't seen any solo Punisher stuff.
Well, we finished all that, of course. I
haven't had an opportunity yet.
I think The Punisher was excellent. I think
It was great.
I think
What
it was
other
really
Marvel
good.
Netflix?
What
do we got?
I've seen them all.
What do we got? Okay,
well,
we
you've got
did
2 seasons of Daredevil. You got Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and then Defenders. And then Punisher
Defenders.
was the
Now
most
is that
recent.
who's in Defender? That
Defenders was all of them, all 4 of them.
okay, like the comic. What do we got? Defender. We got Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, but no, there's lots. Defenders have been many teams over the years. I mean, even Hulk was on the Defenders for a while.
Yeah, I remember Hulk,
But no.
Doctor Strange at the same time.
No. This was the shows I mentioned. It's Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. I think the only show that suffered so far that Netflix has done has been Iron Fist. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a mess of a
what was his uniform? I didn't even see what his costume was.
No, he didn't really ever don it. I think you saw footage of a previous Iron Fist that had been before, and he had that traditional like deep V down to his belly button shirt with the high collar. I mean, so
and the kung fu shoe, the little slippers, the ballet slippers.
Yeah, well, he's a kung fu master, so he's got to wear the appropriate footwear
with powers.
That one was fairly weak, and I do feel he stepped it up. He was not good at the kung fu. He was not great at the acting. You know, you think you get a Game of Thrones guy in there, so it's going to be golden, but it wasn't. I think he stepped it up a bit in Defenders. Defenders was good, not great, but I liked it, and I think he stepped it up for that. I think he heard the critical reviews and he seemed to do a little better with the martial arts in this one. It's just enough. I really enjoyed Luke Cage, which is kind of divisive too. A lot of people didn't like Luke Cage. I thought it was fantastic. A little messy at the end, but I think that I have hope for a Luke Cage Iron Fist Heroes for Hire series at Netflix.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be fantastic.
So, are you a Game of Thrones guy?
Of course, yes.
My wife totally is, but I can't get into it. It's like you need a spreadsheet to keep track of everything.
There is a lot going on, but what you need to do is print out one of those like lists, like the little hierarchy lists.
Yeah.
That way you can be like, okay, that's that guy, and that's that. But if you enjoy great action and boobies, I don't know why you're having a problem with the show, Dan.
Yeah, don't try to figure out who's wearing the little tiny dragon on the shoulder.
As long
in one
as you don't
episode.
mind who's playing whose sister, and you see them doing stuff, and
yeah,
that's a problem.
We
That's a
would
recurring problem.
The most I got out when Larry from Pegasus would invite us over. We'd have the Game of Thrones viewing upstairs at Pegasus Hobbies, and there we could focus. They tell me, "Okay, Jeff, shut up, don't talk," and I'll watch it.
Oh, is that all we have to do?
Oh,
I didn't think that worked.
Yeah, I thought I'm always scared to say his name 3 times or else he'll show up, you know? Yeah, well, you got Larry into it. I mean, I don't even get in Game of Thrones debates with Larry because it's who's, in your opinion, that's how they start. In your opinion, who's the greatest sword fighter in Game of Thrones? And you're like, oh, I think maybe. No, you're wrong, and here's why. And it's like, oh, okay, well, remember when you started with my opinion? But nope.
Yeah.
And yes, Larry is like the...
I was asking for it, but I really didn't want to.
Yeah, no. I just I wanted you to be on the same page as me, and since you're not, here's why you're wrong. That's Larry's side.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Any more?
Have we done it?
Any more?
we
You know,
almost
we
done
got that clock says 5. Mine might be 2 minutes fast.
I'm showing we got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, what are we gonna talk about in 2 minutes?
We're gonna plug.
Mark,
Well, let's talk
you
about
haven't
Pacific
talked
Wonder.
enough. I think it's Mark's turn to. You please take the last 2 minutes, man.
Well, in
Man,
fact,
can't
Be
do 2
careful.
minutes. It's like
Be careful with what you
stretch
wish
it
for.
out, stretch
I
it out.
extended the show, so if we have to go over, we could go.
Welcome
over.
to the.
Dutchie's not here today, so
If you could put on,
We can just keep going for hours and
Oh,
hours.
it's.
and
I'm now
hours and
handing
hours.
this over to my co-host, Mark
Don't do
Hefferman.
that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
if you could put on the karaoke version of some song, Mark would gladly.
You
do
you
that.
want to tell us a Licorice Pizza story or a Music Plus story?
Oh, God. How about a licorice pizza story? How about the infamous, or is it famous? Gosh, I can't even think what you call the damn thing. When we had an in-store with Quiet Riot at the Licorice Pizza in the Mountain Green
Mountain
Center.
Green Center. Oh my
Mountain Green
God.
Center, yes.
Was JoJo there?
Oh, JoJo was there.
Of course he
The
was.
whole crew. It was one of the biggest in-stores that Licorice Pizza ever had. I think we had about 500 people.
Bigger
show up.
than Hollywood.
What
Yeah.
they were there to sign and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, signing autographs and things. So it overwhelmed the whole parking lot.
And what year was
entire
this?
Center. Boy, don't even ask me that.
86 or something like that?
85.
That
somewhere in
was,
there.
I think, that's when they got signed. There was the big Carlos Cavazo. Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Don't forget,
Yeah.
right across the street from Me Taco.
Yeah,
That's,
with the world
It
famous
was Me Taco,
burger,
man.
The Matador salad that
the Matador salad and the taco burger.
dude.
The taco
That's what we
burger.
needed. Is a whole show on defunct
yeah.
restaurants
I've
and
been
fast food joints.
I've been
that
a
way.
fan of taco burgers since high school.
But that was actually that was a ton of fun, and the guys were all great, and people were smoking pot inside the store, and Sue had to chase them out. So it was enjoyable.
You know that this predates me a little bit because I was born in '83. So
Yeah.
But when this just recently clicked not too long ago for me. When I grew up, we had that sweet stackable Fisher stereo. You know what I mean, with the dual deck cassette and 5 disc changer, which was fairly new, kind of I think at the time. And then the top was a turntable, all that. But we had wooden cassette holder. It was like, I don't know. I'm holding my hands out like you can
Licorice
see,
Pizza.
like 4-inch. And
Pizza cassette.
on the front was that girl with the pizza with the vinyl. And I never in my life until maybe, I don't know, 6 months to a year ago, realized what that was. Because as a kid, I didn't know what Licorice Pizza was. I wasn't buying my own records. I got into music a little later. I only liked what my sister liked, and she went through phases of, Culture Club and 80s stuff to when she's dating her now husband, who was a big hippie, so I was into Zeppelin.
Did Andy ever dress up as Boy George for Halloween?
Oh, yes, we have pictures.
I knew
not
it.
Halloween.
I knew it.
Not
'Cause
Halloween, just everyday life. I mean, don't.
She looked.
Yeah, no.
I thought I'd seen pictures of her on Facebook. I'm like, she looked like Boy George.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing. But yeah, and now knowing
I never
that
even thought about that, but yeah, I see that.
now knowing that I had the Licorice Pizza like wooden cassette holder, and now I think it was finally I looked at their Facebook page or something like that somebody has for them, and I was like, oh shit, I've seen that before, and wishing now that I still had it lying around somewhere, but I'm sure it went many yard sales ago.
Yeah, I have several of those, plus 45 crates, LP crates, all
Nice.
those wonderful Licorice Pizza.
And your biggest customer for blank cassettes was Pat Jankowitz because he still does his interviews on cassette decks.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. He does, doesn't he?
I bought him a vintage one at the downtown Upland, that little next door to the Bob's record shack.
Yeah.
I found a vintage in the box, like a 1974
cassette deck,
cassette
just
player,
like the little
push button
little
cassette, the
portable
little
one.
box,
I still have mine.
just like we had in school.
That's not surprising.
But I used-
Mark
when
has
I was-
every piece of technology he's
When I
ever
was
owned
trying
still.
to be on the radio back in the day, that's what I would do.
Yeah,
all my,
I just gave Jeff
on.
my digital one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Pat's
Yeah.
still using that, really?
No, he will not. He goes to a panel at a convention, and we have all these people doing an interview, and everybody's got their digital recorders. And Pat pulled out, making noise, opening the box, flipping the tape over, slapping it down, pushing the button, and everybody just looking at him, just going like, afraid to even mention anything about his recording system.
Maybe it's up from 5 to maybe 7. On the
Yeah,
crazy.
throwing in is that
Yeah,
okay? A
it'll be-
60-minute tape, a 90-minute, or a 120 tape?
The old 120.
Is it live or is it Memorex, Mark?
I always preferred what was it? Maxell. Yes.
It doesn't matter because in my little Honda Civic, then I had to put a popsicle stick in to keep the damn cassette thing running. My cassette deck always ate my tapes. No matter what car I get and what new one I get, it always eats my tape.
I enjoy all the memes you see now of people's kids sticking their phones in the cassette thing, thinking it's a charger for their phone. I think that's fantastic. And yeah, it was it the other day that I saw 2 kids trying to figure out what it did. It was a cassette tape, or it was something. It was a Walkman or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walkman.
They were trying to figure out where to plug their phone. Like, it was literally disheartening because they had no idea that it was not anything to do with their phone or Bluetooth or anything like that.
Yeah, we should do a tour of my garage and look at all the
How much time do you got? I mean,
the outdated technology.
We should do that'd be a good fun one. We could do it. We could do the Jeff Sarge and do it on push it on YouTube on that one.
We could.
Version.
We could.
And
because there's stuff in there that I'm sure that people.
I'm sure
no idea.
You must have. Do you have a TIAC reel to reel?
Yeah, I have 3, I think.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
well, I mean, what did I just convince you to throw away from the store? That flatbed scanner?
Oh, yeah.
That 164-bit or whatever it was.
Wow.
I'm not even sure this will work anywhere. I don't think there's
you could plug it in
I don't even know what
yeah.
kind of plug it would have been. What was it, like an 8-pin or something like that? Probably
yeah,
something.
parallel
Just like,
or
and the
cord or
my
something.
phone takes 3 times the quality that thing could scan at this point. You know what I mean? It's just amazing.
Well, I wanted to recycle it and, be
E-waste.
good for the environment. So, but
So no, that's going in our archives. Somebody before, don't bury that. That's going in the archives.
Yeah.
And somebody just might have a cable connector to and an adapt. And that's the thing, cables and getting that to adapt to something modern to make it function.
well, if you need any of that kind of stuff,
Again, Mark's garage.
got a box.
Mark's garage.
Yeah, Mark was my neighbor for years and years and years and years and years, and we've always
And
been
look how
friends.
long his beard is now. That was from Rip
started
Van Winkle.
I started growing it back then, Dan.
Yeah,
You can tell how long he's lived next door by the length of his beard.
It's like rings on a tree.
Yeah, there's like rings on a tree.
Pretty much.
Well,
pretty
you know
much.
what you should do is just take. You guys can do satellite, right? You can broadcast from in different locations, correct, Dan?
oh yeah.
That's what you should do. You should do a live episode from Mark's garage.
Yes.
Set up in
kinda
his
scary.
set up in his driveway right in front there, and then just start digging stuff out of there, and then seeing.
What is this?
Yeah,
And then
What is
what
that?
we could even have and then you could say, yeah, is that for sale? Yes. Is that for sale? No. Well, if the price is right, yes.
no,
Does
I'm keeping this
Does
8-track.
it work? No, but it's cool.
Yeah,
Panasonic Tootaloop.
just things with no
It's
more
an S.
plugs.
It's a crazy radio. It's Tootaloop. Remember that? Of course you do.
But then 8mm projectors, 16mm projectors.
See, some of that shit people want.
I
Some of it
filmed
they
my
don't.
first sci-fi movie on a
projector.
Super 8 movie camera with a sound projector, where the sound was actually on the Super 8 film.
I think I still have my original portable VHS recorder, which probably weighed about 40 pounds, but it was portable.
I still have one too. You rest it on your shoulder, and
Yeah.
you click in the big old tape.
That's what you do. You also film. You go live and you film the episode with that thing.
But the
Could do
great
that.
thing about Super 8 is that's when you do your claymation and stuff.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's when I did my first claymation movie as a kid.
And
you
that
know?
wraps this whole thing all the way back to Land of the Lost. Right?
Yes.
Because that was all stop frame animation with the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, who was on earlier? Who did you have on?
Wesley.
Whistly.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You missed out.
I did. I was dropping my kids off. I did.
Yep,
not.
from Land of the Lost. That guy was great, and he's not. He even I was going to sing it. He's always probably sick of hearing that song, and he sang the words, the two different versions, because he's
Yeah, he did.
the original. Marshall had to. He left the series, and then the other guy came in as his uncle, so he had to change the theme song. Instead of Marshall, Will, and Holly, it was Uncle Marshall. Will's uncle, Holly and Will's uncle. I can't even
Just
remember.
didn't
Yes.
fit. Just purely
Didn't
didn't
fit, but he made it fit. But yeah, that guy was great, man.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Gilligan's Island. Remember, it used to be "And the Rest."
Yeah, well, that was the they had
And then
they had the
changed
shortened
it.
version,
Yeah.
right? They had the shortened one when you when the episode ran a little bit longer. It was they cut off. It was just what? What did you get? Gilligan, the Skipper, and the rest. I think.
The millionaire, the
Yeah.
movie star,
And the rest. That's right. So you
But
lost
then
out
it
on.
went, and Gilligan and Marianne, or the professor and Marianne.
Yeah. You didn't get the extras.
Yeah.
Poor Marianne, and
Poor
she was the one
professor.
too. She was the one.
Yeah, Professor. Oh, and Marianne.
She was way better looking
Ta-
than the movie star.
Oh yeah,
Ginger.
dude. Ginger.
Yeah.
I want the fake eyelashes. I want the
Marianne
movie star.
greater than Ginger. I'm sorry. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Original Daisy Dukeware.
You're right. True that. True that.
All right. Jeff, what do you think? We're going to wrap things up.
Yeah, sure. I want to get out of here, man. I want to eat those tacos that are left.
I want a taco. I want a taco.
Well, it's the Mark Hefferman Show.
It is.
He said Hefferman, by the way.
I know he did. He said it the whole day. It's Heffernan, just so everyone knows.
With an N.
Heffernan.
Did I say Hefferman?
He said Hefferman.
Hefferman.
Like you're calling him like a cow man.
Like a cowman. Hefman. Hefman.
Heffernan.
Heffernan. Hefferman.
Heffernan.
And this is the point where everything breaks down.
I think I spelled it
Getting chaotic.
when your name comes up on the phone.
You spelled it wrong on the phone.
I think
That's-
I put
that's
man,
not surprising.
Hefferman.
Who's surprised?
He's a Hefferman. It's a male cow that gives milk.
Change that. Damn it.
My God, I don't
Just
want
was
any.
insulted
I don't
by
want any
Jeff
Mark
Sargent.
milk, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want any heifer
Hey,
milk.
how about that
no.
milk that
I don't know if it works
Hey,
anymore.
how about the milk in Star Wars?
Yeah,
Remember
absolutely.
that? Oh God, that hideous creature.
Well, we know he liked blue milk, so I guess this milk wasn't.
What
much.
color was that
Okay,
milk?
no spoilers.
It's really. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed about it.
It's milky. Dan,
like
you'd
a-
pour it on your cereal. Don't trip. Remember Freaky cereal? It looks like the creature looks like Cow Mumble. No, not Cow Mumble. Snorkeldorf, or was it? No, it was
I don't think any of these words you're saying are real.
the Garble get Dorfledum. Garble gets.
And on that note,
and my statement continues. To
We
be
are
true.
the
And the
Freakies. This
Jeffrey-
is our Freakies tree. We never miss a meal because we love our cereal.
There you
Snorkeldorf.
That doesn't rhyme.
I don't know.
They call me so handsome and pretty.
I want to ask Mark a question.
Uh-oh.
Do you have any grandkids yet?
No.
Okay.
No
I just-
grandkids yet.
I just had my first granddaughter.
Congratulations.
And
I don't know whether we will ever have one.
I was gonna say I don't think Ian's on the precipice of that either.
and her mom, my granddaughter's mom, bottles her own milk. And my wife is like, "Here, you should try it. Is it warm?" I'm like, I get freaked out. I'm like, ugh.
Did you-
No, I don't even want to touch it.
I tried. My wife's. I had to. It was just a curiosity.
Out of curiosity.
To be honest with you, it didn't really taste like anything hardly. It
Did
was
you
just
make
like-
yogurt?
Yeah, churning butter.
Oh, churning butter.
Do you have any of that titty butter? I'm just trying to.
Titty butter, churning butter.
Okay, let's get out of here.
And on that note,
Pacific Wine Cellars.
Get it
Pacific
right.
Wine Merchants.
Fuck, come on, this
Why?
is
I don't know about this group here.
Mark,
Pacific Wine. He's
Pacific
going to
Wine
say
Merchants
cigarette
and Cigar
exchange.
in Nashville.
everybody come see Mark Hefferman at the Pacific Cellar of Wines and Beers.
Yeah,
In-
cigarettes
in
and
Claremont.
beers.
Yeah, not the Claremont Wine Merchants, please.
Pacific Paving
God.
Packing House. The bing bong.
Right downtown Upland at the Metro Link. You could watch your favorite music perform. You'll be hearing one of your favorite songs, and then the train comes by. Woo-hoo! And then train kept the rolling starts
We
playing.
call that ambiance.
Yes, the horny music.
Ambiance.
Well, thank you for having me, Jeffrey and Dan, on this fine, wonderful day on Tuesday at Chaotic Radio and the Jeff Sargent Show.
Look how professional his voice is.
That was good.
It
He
sounded
told
like
me he did radio.
with this music, it sounded like somebody welcomed you to the Renaissance Fair or something like that. Just
This is for Wesley.
We want to thank you for listening to our show. Is this Dora? Dora the Explorer? It ain't chipmunks. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm gone. We're gonna have special guests all through the week. Tune in. Bye.
I wanna wish you a